one and only Day to join us. Waiting for him to share his face cam, and once he does, that will be the sign that we're pretty close to being good to go. The Kimbo perk comes out tonight, by the way, in case you were wondering. Ban these kids. Apparently, I do not have any moderators online, which is unfortunate because I really need some moderators online. Yes, I did misspell Xsert. Hopefully that fixes itself soon. My last research, I promise. I can't get too chunky. People really get so salty about a one-letter typo inside of a title. SMH my head. There we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Is Day... He is not yet sharing his face cam, so we're still waiting on him. We'll go ahead and take a look at our schedule for those of you who are wondering. Nova Imperium versus Fearless is going to be our first matchup. Fearless being one of the teams that qualified on Tuesday night. Xsert versus Fierce should be a good matchup as well. That'll be game number 2. Fierce is going to be a very different team. As we saw, Turbulence had a lot of former Fierce players, so I'm intrigued to see how that one's going to play out. After that, we got Exiled versus Gravity. I have never seen or heard of Gravity before, so that should be a fun one to watch. Then we got Turbulence versus Gene. Gene being one of the teams that played in Stage 4 of the COD Mobile Championships. Turbulence being a lot of former Fierce players that have teamed up together. Then we got Tribe versus Violence. Violence, another one of those Stage 4 teams. Obviously, Tribe, the champions of Stage 4. Then we got Strike Zone versus Infinix. That's one that I'm personally really excited to watch just because Strike Zone put up a really good fight in the Stage 4 qualifiers, especially as an underdog. So I think they could be the sleeper pick for the season. Let me get Day's voice on. Because let's see.
Yeah, I told you not to snitch. You gonna snitch?
No. All right, let me mute him real quick. Let's see. You there, Dave?
What's up?
Not much. How's it going? Okay. Wait. Zim's still talking about snitches, so I'll mute him again.
Snitches get stitches.
Well, your two beautiful casters are here, chat, and we are ready for our first full day of Call of Duty Mobile action from Mobile Mayhem Season number 4. Since Day did not hear... Have you taken a look at the schedule?
Very, very, very briefly.
Okay, so first is going to be Nova Imperium versus Fearless. Obviously, Fearless qualified on Tuesday. Then we got Xsert versus Fierce. I don't know who's going to be on Fierce because most of Turbulence is the former Fierce team, so that should be interesting to watch. Then we got Exiled versus Gravity. I have no idea who Gravity is, so they already got a bid, which I'm assuming means they're a pretty good team. That should be a fun one. That could be another one of the Stage 4 teams. I don't really know. After that, we got Turbulence versus Gene. Gene being one of the Stage 4 teams. I believe they came in 7th or 8th place. Then we got Tribe versus Violence. And lastly, Strike Zone versus Infinix. Strike Zone was kind of the sleeper pick, in my opinion, in Stage 4. So they put up a pretty good fight against some solid teams. I think they'll be fun to watch as well.
Yeah,
Overall,
definitely some good matchups. A lot of new teams here that obviously have a lot to
yep. It's definitely going to be a good matchup. Lots of new teams is always a good thing. Not only for viewership purposes, but just for the growth of the competitive side of Call of Duty Mobile. So, looking forward to it for sure. Who is hosting? I'm guessing B, probably hosting. Let me request to join real quick. Okay. And let's see. Do we have the password? Dun, 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 dun. Thank you for the password. I appreciate it. All right, once I get that put in, I'm guessing we'll be good to go soon. Yep, we do have our lobby made. Wow. Wait, who'd he get picked up by, Zim? That was got picked up by Strike Zone. Interesting. Oh, I've played against Envy like 7 times in the past 3 days in ranked. Let's see. Player names for Exiled.
if you go down to COD MNA and go to league rosters.
God,
I mean, it is a bunch of, or at least a couple of returning players. But
oh wow, I'm a big fan. It's they
Me
got
too.
the all-time snack squad. You got Pringles, Takis, Funyuns, Doritos, Ruffles, Lay's, Turbos, the whole squad. Should be a blast to watch them. I believe they're our second matchup of the night, but it looks like we got everybody loaded in and ready to go for matchup number 1, Nova Imperium versus Fearless.
that should be a good matchup. Fearless, again, one of these teams that is new to the season, and we did get to see them play on Tuesday. Had some pretty back and forth performances. I mean, not the most consistent team, but I mean, again, we do kind of have a almost all-star roster team that they had to play against in the finals. So definitely going to be looking out for that. Obviously, it sounded like you went ahead and let everybody know we had some map changes for this season, Bobby. So obviously we'll be seeing that here.
Yep, and yeah, hopping into Crossfire hardpoint. Definitely not something that we've seen before, even in Stage 4. So should be interesting to see how these teams adapt. Different strategies that we are going to see on this map. We already see Zealous fragging out. No surprise there. Consistently one of the top fraggers, not only for his team, but for all of Mobile Mayhem, and picking up some more, just barely misses that final shot through the outside of the bus. And they will be making their rotation over toward next. As we do see the hard point set up down below pretty well in favor of Nova Imperium for the time being. We do have rotations coming in for Fearless. They're set up pretty well right now, as it looks like Nova Imperium will try to make a push in. For the time being, the hard point will be controlled by Fearless. Ooh. And Lethal missing a couple crucial shots right there. It could have been an easy frag for him, but Vague capitalizes, picks up another one Now 5 kills on the board for him. Spots one player on the outside. Steezy's going to win the gunfight, though. They've got pretty solid control of this top hard point. This will be P2, and with the Molotovs going out, that'll make it difficult for any type of push to come in for Nova Imperium right now. So even though they're not necessarily winning in the kill department by a lot, what a shot and a slide by Steez. We will get a break coming in, and actually a retake coming in immediately afterward for Fearless. So holding their own against this Nova Imperium team that, even though they weren't able to walk away with the championship, is definitely one of the most feared teams in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they performed really well last season, and one thing we do also have to consider for this Nova Imperium team, while it is a bunch of players that have kind of back and forth played with each other, we hadn't really seen them play as a full squad. So that was kind of their first season together as a group of 5, where, again, there's definitely some team synergy that hopefully this season maybe has enhanced a little bit and can give us even some better plays on top of how good they performed last season already. And right now they're having a pretty good opening, but Team Fearless is doing a pretty great job right now. They are up 65 to 52. And this map, you know, just being one that we haven't seen too much in Mobile Mayhem, obviously, Bobby, with it being new to our map rotation, it does play a little bit similar to Crash in the sense that some of these outer hardpoints are very, very difficult and long to make the rotation to. So we will have to look for key players making the rotations over to anchor spawns throughout the rest of this game.
Yeah, we got Jingo on the bottom side, just in a very back and forth slide battle with, I can't quite tell who it is because they're moving so quickly. High is actually going to end up coming out on top for that one. So it does look like we have Nova Imperium getting most of that P3 time. And like you said, very similar to Crash Hardpoint, where a lot of these hardpoints tend to be one-sided. If we do have one team getting a break, it will likely be a game changer. And we do see some important frags coming in for Nova Imperium as they're going to try to get the break right here. They're definitely going to need it. If they're not able to do so, they can actually lose it on this hardpoint. I just realized that that'll go up to 140. So even then, you don't want to be leaving P4 at 140. That's a very risky position to be in, and they'll be looking to try to at least get a couple seconds on the hill, but based on the way this one's going right now, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anywhere close.
Yeah, starting this one off pretty strong, Fearless did, but, you know, moving on into the second half, Nova have done a much better job with the team rotations. Vega, once again, and this is a player that we never really saw use shotguns, but towards the end of the last season, really started making that rotation into that run and gun shotgun player, doing phenomenal right now. 14 kills on the board to lead all players, leading the team as well just by 3. Zealous coming through behind at 11. High, another phenomenal player, obviously at 10. Swag with 9. Hacks, however, struggling, but I do think we did see him sitting on the bench quite a bit towards the end of last season. I know he had some connection problems, so hopefully he'll be a little better off this season. Maybe we'll get to see him with a little bit more solid connection.
Yep, and as expected... Oh, no! Oh, wait. So the whole time... Okay, I commentated that entire game wrong. I thought it was Fearless taking up. I got lost in the teams. It was actually Nova Imperium taking upward, and they're able to come away with the win. We do see High top fragging right there. That makes a little more sense. I was surprised to see it going so much the way of Fearless, and that.
Yeah, no, admins,
forgive me, chat. That is
that'd be great.
My first time ever casting Hardpoint on Crossfire, so I got a little bit turned around. You can see pretty good consistency for Nova Imperium, with the exception of Hex, who struggled a surprising amount. He was their OBJ player with 1:45 on the hill, so not too surprising to see him bottom fragging. But a good fight put up by Fearless. That's a new competitive map for a lot of these players, so we'll likely continue to see these players make adjustments. Definitely going to need to see more out of Lethal and Riots, though. 2-10 and 3-11. Definitely not going to make the cut. We will get ready to hop into game number 2, which is going to be Search and Destroy Firing Range.
Yeah, and again, this Team Fearless is a team that came through with some strong performance. stats might go to show. I mean, there's definitely some room for some players to step up. As you mentioned, we had obviously some pretty heavy kill disparities as far as I believe it was Lethal and Riot sitting down at about 2 and 10. That is a pretty rough spot to be in. However, the rest of the team actually did marginally okay despite the kill disparity that, Vague, Zealous, Swag, High, they all finished in double digits there, quite a bit positive. And Team Fearless, again, were able to put 75 up on the board in their first game in Mobile Mayhem against one of the top teams. So excellent performance out of these guys, and definitely excited to see how they perform here in Search and Destroy.
Yes, sir. We are good to hop in the game number 2. Obviously, the sniper's always playing a really big factor in this one, so it'll be interesting to see what we see out of Swag. He has been one of those players that continuously dominant with the sniper, the Locust being his weapon of choice for the past couple seasons. We do have Steezy actually getting a couple frags off the start. Surprised he was able to stay alive as long as he was. Hack's finally able to take him out, but not before getting 2 frags on the board. Swag's going to push into trailer and hold that down for the time being with the buy 15. The shotgun of choice for pro players, at least in the North American competitive scene right now. So here in the player outside left, gonna try to hop over, does get one shot onto him right there, pulling out the sniper, seeing if he can hold off the defense. Hits a quick scope hit marker right there, not able to hit the follow-up, but has the positioning down, able to hit the shot onto Jingo. Now only one player remaining over on Fearless, and with Hex already taking the gunfight, he'll be able to drop Riots. It will be Nova Imperium going up to a 1-0 lead.
That was a pretty quick and decisive win coming off of that hardpoint victory for the side of Nova Imperium. Hopefully our admins have got the teams fixed for on the screen so that everybody is up to date on who is winning. Pax had an incredible round there for the team. 3 kills for him. Swag obviously picking up the other 2. Skeezy, a big open. Unfortunately, the team around him in Fearless was not able to capitalize. And hopefully we'll be able to see them turn things around. But he is going to get dropped by Vague, who once again has really taken to the shotguns quite well and quite quick.
Yeah, unfortunately, Steezy just getting stuck all by himself in the midst of a 5-man A push for Nova Imperium. Not a whole lot he's going to be able to do there. And once again, Fearless dropping left and right. Now only one player remaining up in top of 10. Vague's going to be ready for it. Pulls out the shotgun. Bop shield right there, and that is going to be a quick 2-0. Nova Imperium looking like they are the Fearless team right now. So if they can keep this up, more than likely that will be a quick 2-0 for them to get the season started, especially with a disappointing loss, especially given how much they were up in our Season 3 finals. They would like to be able to get off to a strong start, and it looks like they will be able to do so. So playing a little bit more passive, obviously predicting the A defense over on trailer side, and just like that, Vague's able to push in, get a 2-piece. He will drop to Lethal, but still 2 players remain over on the site for Nova Imperium. Heck's going to throw down the trophy system, and the bomb plant will go down over on A.
Yeah, definitely struggling here for Team Fearless, but again, they are up against Nova Imperium, a team that all through the last season we definitely revered as an all-star team here in a Mobile Mayhem. So it is a very, very tough matchup. This is just one of the few really tough matchups for some of these newer teams that we were talking about at the beginning of the stream, Bobby. And again, it is expected for Nova Imperium to come out on top here, but I do think this is a great opening situation for Fearless to be in. And honestly, I think this is great practice for them coming into this season, especially with this Season 4 of Mobile Mayhem being a little bit longer. Gives them a little bit more time to adapt, and starting off with a hard opponent, I think will actually work out better for them in the long run.
Yeah, you'd like to get as many reps in as possible against these top teams. Like you said, a much longer season than we're used to, so this is definitely not going to impact teams as much whenever they take a loss, especially in like a 2-0 where it seems like the other team's gaining big as a result of it. We actually see one round going to Fearless as Lethal will manage to get the defuse right here. He and Riot's both up to 3 kills, so those two looking pretty solid so far for Fearless, but like we've said previously, just not quite getting the support from their teammates that they need to be getting in order to have a shot at winning right here. So we'll see if they can build some momentum. Lots of time ahead of us, not only tonight, but also in Mobile Mayhem Season 4. So definitely very excited to see how the teams improve. Also how some of their strategies might adapt, as we do have some of these newer maps. We do have Shield picking up a frag onto Vague, and it will be a one-man advantage once again for Fearless.
Yeah, absolutely. Lethal has been able to turn things around quite a little bit for himself, at least. I mean, he ended that last game of Hardpoint, the respawn mode, with only 2 kills. He's already surpassed that at this point, with that last round being so good for him. It does look like he will probably end up being one of the primary snipers for this team. Again, we haven't seen him enough to really know, and we do as well see Jingo with the sniper out. So keep an eye on these guys. And we'll have to see how they perform against some of our stronger snipers in the league.
I'm pretty sure he just collatted high in swag. I'm not 100% positive on that. That was either a collat or a beautiful 2-piece, but regardless.
It dropped off the feed at the same time, so I think that would be a collat.
Yeah. That definitely big plays, and it looks like they may actually be able to give Nova Imperium a run right here. We will be switching sides, and typically we see Nova Imperium be stronger on the defensive side, so we'll see whether or not Fearless is able to combat that. CZ taking some damage from the Thermite off the start. But they've been looking good so far. Lethal picking up a bunch of kills toward the end of those last few rounds. No doubt going to be a lot of players trying to fight for that Rookie of the Split award, as right now basically like half the league is rookies. It seems like somewhere close to that, maybe even more. Definitely
sure makes a more exciting race than just having 2 people.
Yeah, just 2 guys, and one of them was on the championship team.
yeah, 2 guys. I think it was what, Tempo and Beamed?
Yeah.
Or no, Tempo and Mason. Right?
Yeah.
Tempo and Mason, yeah. So definitely a much more exciting run for Rookie of the Split this time around. So keep an eye out for that towards the end of the season, and make sure you guys in chat as well pay attention to a lot of these newer players, so that you know, you have an idea going in towards the end of the season what you think, and there may be even a player vote this season. We're not entirely sure on that yet, but that is something that has been mentioned to the admin team, so that might be a cool new interactive feature for you guys.
And what a feed coming in for Nova Academy right there. Went from a 5v5 to a 5v0 as they get a really, really quick round, and it, with the way that that one was playing out, it was seeming like it was going to be a competitive round, but as soon as we had Fearless trying to go for any type of a push, they immediately got shut down by Nova Imperium, who seems very confident in their strategy on defense on this map. Not surprising to see. We've seen that pretty consistently for a lot of these teams, seeming a lot more confident over on defense than they are on offense. We do have Swag picking up 2 frags off the start. Big plays coming in for him. Steezy not able to take out Hex. He'll be able to survive with 1 HP. Getting shut down very quickly once again is Fearless, and with a 5-2 lead, Nova Imperium looking like they could shut this one down in 2 games.
Yeah, again, coming into this matchup, you definitely expect such a strong team like Nova Imperium to do well against Fearless. Obviously a team that, again, had really good showings on Tuesday, but did fall to, I believe it was Turbulence, correct, Bobby? Which
yes.
Was kind of like a
fierce
all-star game. I mean, it was basically pieces of an old Fierce roster that had all placed very, very high in previous Mobile Mayhem seasons. So they were all very familiar with the professional scene. So you definitely would expect them to struggle up against a team like Nova Imperium. But I think they've actually done a pretty great job so far, as well as it looks like they are potentially taking a 3rd round here up against Nova Imperium. And this one is not over yet, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, Steezy is single-handedly tearing apart this Nova Imperium team. He is finally going to drop to Zealous, with Hex and Zealous both alive. Still a shot, and what a beam onto Lethal over on the bomb site. Zealous just shooting absolute lasers right there. That was, even though it wasn't all that flashy, a beautiful 2-piece regardless. and that will allow them to close things out at 6-2. Just like that, we're going to go ahead and hop in a match number 2 as we do have Nova Imperium, not too surprisingly, coming out on top right there. You have Hex, Zealous, and Vague top fragging. High in swag, not making as much of a contribution, but honestly wasn't too terribly needed as they seem pretty in control for the entirety of that, especially once they got over onto the defensive side.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I think Team Fearless really showed a lot of gun skill in this particular matchup, especially if you look at the first match of Hardpoint on Crossfire. Very early on in that game, they were actually not down in kills and had some pretty phenomenal rotations. So I definitely want to make sure that we keep this as a team to watch in the coming up weeks that we have ahead of us. Specifically when they match up against some of the lower end spectrum of the teams from last season. Not that I think that this is a bad team. I'm, obviously don't think that, because again, I'm saying let's watch these guys and see how they're able to grow, because again, they're new to the pro scene, so they have a lot of opportunity ahead of them. And this is obviously a pretty one-sided opening match to go up against one of the best teams from the last season. So.
For sure. Getting ready to hop into matchup number 2. As you guys can see, we've got Xsert, the second place team from the COD Mobile Stage 4 Championships, going up against Fierce. I'm going to go ahead and look up what Fierce's roster is for right now, because it's going to look very, very different from what it was last season. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of players listed on Fierce's...
we do have to keep in mind that the roster locks is not until week 2 as well. So just everybody in chat, if we talk about rosters, take it with a grain of salt. Things can still change.
Okay. I'm seeing a lot of people on the Fierce roster that have Turbulence in their name. So I don't know if our admins can shed any light on that.
Sure. Zoom. Okay. The Fierce roster is Renounce, Forsaken, Riballo, Dare, Shadow, who is suspended, Main Mike, who is suspended, and Ayak.
How long are those guys suspended for?
Just today.
Just today? Okay.
That's right. The Turbulence roster is Slothy, Chaos, Soso, Space, Beamed, A-Flows, and Jez.
Oh, A-Flows is back. All right.
Yeah, they're 2 separate teams, but...
Okay. So a lot of former Arsenal / Hammers players on the new Fierce roster is what it sounds like. So, and both of those teams, I think, are going to give a pretty good fight. And I don't know how this dude just nonstop manages to get into the rooms, but that's just the way of the road.
The intermission screen up.
I mean, again, Zim, just make a part of the overlay that covers the room ID. That'll make it much more difficult.
We have an intermission screen for that now.
Okay. Intermission. I don't see an intermission. I have the webcam screen up. That covers everything.
Sure.
Yes, I will start doing that from now on. Noted. Before leaving the room. That will probably take me a little while to actually remember to do on a consistent basis, but once I get to it, we'll be chilling. Sorry guys, that does not have any audio sources on it, so I don't know why OBS Studio doesn't automatically add audio sources, but that's just the way of the road. So getting ready to hop into Xsert versus Fierce. Should be a good one. The Fierce team we're watching tonight is going to be significantly different from the Fierce team that we will see throughout the rest of the season. There's a couple players that are suspended for rules being broken in the previous season, so that's something to keep in mind. But obviously, Meralto, Deathleys, an impulsive 3 of the players that played in Stage 4 for Xsert. Code was not on that roster, and I don't think Henry was either, unless that is somebody with a name change.
New now.
He's new?
Yuna.
Oh, Yuna is Henry. Okay, gotcha. All right, good to know.
Code was on Xset.
But not in their stage 4 roster.
Oh yeah, no. Yes.
All right. Oh, good. Lagging, good. Can you hear me, Day?
Yeah, just waiting on a couple players to ready up here. Should be able to get us in this game. This is going to be a pretty good matchup, in my opinion. Xset, definitely a team that I've been looking forward to seeing once again. This is a team that I really liked watching last season. I do like that we see Impulsive playing for this team once again, so definitely have to keep an eye out for him because he was really kind of a staple player for this roster throughout the last season. And then towards the end, Bobby, we really didn't see him get too much game time. So, again, anything could have happened. It could have been on him not being able to be there. It could have been, team related. I don't know. I don't know, but definitely saw them struggle with the Slayer role when he was missing. So we are getting into this game. It will be standoff on hardpoint. Definitely some opportunity for some snipers to the open, and maybe some shotguns as well. We actually see IAC with the shotgun out currently.
And looks like the YouTube stream is down for no reason. I don't know if that needs a refresh or what. But on the bright side, Trovo is up and kicking, so that's what you like to see. We do see Fierce up off the start. Renounce already picking up 4 frags. The HVK gun that we've started to see being used more and more, just absolutely deadly, especially at the medium to close range. So seeing him carrying that, not too terribly surprising right there. Pretty good amount of time on the hill for Fierce, and Xsert struggling to get anything going. Impulsive, surprisingly enough, yet to pick up a kill. That's going to be a 41-4 lead for Fierce off the start, with multiple players already at 5 kills.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is another one of those matchups that may very well end up being a little bit on the one-sided. Raballo, Renounce, obviously phenomenal players. And I really expect to see a lot coming out of the Xset roster here. There's definitely a lot of opportunity for this team. I feel like they struggle quite a bit with some of the team rotations. I actually think they're all incredibly highly skilled players. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Moralto and Impulsive are 2 of my favorite players to watch just overall throughout a lot of the Mobile Mayhem seasons that I've participated in. So definitely want to see them kind of work on some of that team synergy a bit, and this is a good team for them to go up against in doing so. I mean, again, it's kind of reminiscent scraps of the old Fierce roster with Raballo and Renounce here. We've got some new players. We'll have to see how they are performing. And right now, Dare and Goats are just, I mean, they're doing so good. Obviously, Goat, I believe, is Forsaken. So,
yeah.
He's, again, familiar player to this roster, and he's doing a great job so far this game with 6 kills.
Yeah, and kill-wise, everything seems to be going the way of Fierce, but Xsert has actually done a good job of anchoring that rotation over to P2 and also preventing Fierce from getting any rotations. Moralto landing some nice shots onto Forsaken right there. We do have Dare checking over the backside, trying to overlook that rotation from the back alley, but not going to spot anybody yet, as we do have Xsert players approaching. Looking to get the break. Deathly is not going to be able to get the frag up into the top side, but we'll spot players as he makes his way in. Taking shots on the backside, just barely misses that last bullet, pulls out the FHJ. He'll die, but as does the opposing Fierce player, so It does look like Fierce will be able to climb pretty close to 115 heading out of this hardpoint. Xsert not really getting anywhere close to a contest. They're going to need to hold this next one for the entire 55 points or whatever it is in order to give themselves a shot at potentially winning this first game.
Yeah, and that's a rough position to be in. And again, I do give the edge going into this matchup to the side of Fierce, just knowing the players that they have and the consistency that these players have. I mean, this is 4 players actually now on the side of Fierce crossing into double digits. Meanwhile, looking over at the side of Xsert, we don't have a single player moving into double digits yet. So definitely got to work on some rotations. Xsert's been a little bit behind to each of these points. And a lot of that is due to losing gunfights. So overall, it looks like it's going to be a very clean and a very quick first game win for the side of Fierce. But it could be a totally different story moving on into Search and Destroy.
And to be, like, to Xsert's credit, I don't think that was as much bad rotations as that was just pretty much a flawless break from Fierce. I think there were 4 or 5 players set up on the site, and just one by one, Fierce was able to pick them off and easily make their way into that hard point. They get the win. It says tied. That was not the actual score. Roballo top fragging, Forsaken, Renounce. 3 players that we're pretty used to seeing at the top side of things as they get the win 150-39. And like you said, a lot of it just comes down to gunfights. Even if you're set up perfectly, if you got the best rotations in the world, if you're not winning your gunfights, you are not going to win a game of hardpoint, and we saw that right there. So Roballo going double positive, leading the team. We'll see if this is going to be another quick 2-0 as we get ready to hop into Search and Destroy, or whether or not Xsert will maybe give them a run.
Yeah, and there's a lot of game ahead of us, and not only that, Bobby, there is a lot of season ahead of us as well. There's so much that can change from even just today until Tuesday of next week. With a lot of new teams, obviously, we'll have some new players coming into the board. You may have some breakout players that really stir things up. And again, the rosters are not locked the way that they are right now, not until I don't know if it's the beginning or the end of next week, but next week, to some degree, there will be the rosters getting locked in. That'll give us a little bit more idea at that point how the rest of the season is going to look for a lot of these teams, and we will have to go from there.
Yep, it looks like we are good to go for Search and Destroy Meltdown. Definitely a very familiar map for Xsert, as they played a number of matches here, especially for the Stage 4 championships of the Call of Duty Mobile Championships. So we'll see if that experience comes in handy. We've seen the fragging power over on the side of Fierce, and it's absolutely something to be feared. And we see a pretty aggressive push over toward B right here as Fierce looking to take control of the map early. Ayak trying to hop up on top of generators. No first blood yet, but some shots going over to Xsert, and players forced to retreat right now. Ayak not going to be able to make anything happen, and Moralto shuts things down quickly. Forsaken quickly trading to get the frag onto Deathleys with the bomb down. The pressure is now on for Xsert. Moralto looking through mid to see if he can manage to find a pick, but won't be able to do so yet. Renouncing that top side, very nearly had his head taken off by Moralto, but able to slide away. Moralto pulls out the pistol, able to get the frag right there, and that is actually going to be round number 1 coming in for Xsert.
Yeah, that is a great position for Xsert to be in. And again, this is what I mentioned right at the end of that last matchup, is that things could very much change going into Search and Destroy. Moralto is one of my top rated snipers in the league, as well as he did place finally in the top 3 for snipers in the last split for Marksman of the Split. And a lot of that came through strong here. He was able to get 2 picks for the team, with those 1-shot, 1 kills coming through incredibly strong here in Search and Destroy. Obviously with no respawn, getting an early pick just gives your team a flat-out advantage. So he's really a key player to this team in Search and Destroy, and we definitely need to see Impulsive and Deathleys work on some of their slaying and their rotations in the respawn modes, because I feel like this team has a lot of potential balance, but struggles with that consistency and that synergy.
Yeah, we do have 2 frags coming in early for Fierce. Quick trades coming in for Impulsive and Code, just like that. It's going to be a 3v3. Another player drops as Deathleys gets a kill onto Forsaken, and now Renounce and Rabalo, the remaining people, actually now a 2v2. Deathleys gets the frag onto Renounce. Rabalo all by himself, and not typically known for his snipes, but he picks one up onto Deathleys right there. I believe actually spotted Impulsive in the top side, trying to get this frag to manage a defuse, and he's actually going to go for the long rotation. No! He baited him right there. Perfectly set up by Rabalo. Could not have played that any better. Hits the snipe, closes out the round, and Fierce will go back to the tie at 1-1.
Yeah, that was a absolutely excellent play from Rabalo there. Put 4 kills on the board for himself. Played that round, just as you said, Bobby, flawlessly, and was able to clutch things up for the team. We're now 2 rounds in, 1-1 for each of these teams. And this really sets us in a great position to see how these 2 teams are going to develop towards the rest of the season. Again, moving into this matchup, I have to give my favoritism to Fierce just because we know a lot of these players are consistent, and right there is one of the reasons that I'm talking about. Rabalo finding a clean wallbang there to even things out, and then Dare coming through, finding a kill onto Code as well. That's now a player advantage for the side of Fierce.
And one thing to keep in mind is this Fierce team does not have a lack of good snipers. I believe we said that both Main Mike and also Shadow are going to be on the Fierce roster after their suspension is up. So not only do you have the sniping ability that it seems like Rabalo has been refining, but you've also got those 2 guys. That's going to be a deadly threat regardless of what lineup you've got in play. And it looks like Fierce is going to be a force to be reckoned with this season. You got to keep in mind Turbulence picking up a lot of those Fierce players as well. So definitely looking like we've got a lot more well-rounded teams right now. Dare will pick up the frag onto Meralto, and Fierce will go up 2-1. And seeming like even after a little bit of a rocky start, they're able to pick up where they left off with that first game of Hardpoint. Really, right now it seems to be all Dare and Rabalo as they combine for 11 kills.
Yeah, and again, this is the consistency of the Fierce lineup, even with some changes throughout the last season. As you mentioned, many players going many players that were subs that ended up playing a majority of the season.
He's actually going to go for the long
one of them, obviously now on the Turbulence roster. Even losing players like that, this is still a solid roster that you cannot sleep on. And they're doing a great job showing us that right now as Dare picks up a 1-for-1 trade there, obviously, with IAC dropping. IAC, I believe, is the team manager from Fierce as well. So again, a lot of these teams may still be looking to make roster changes. And that is something that we have to keep in mind looking into week 2 of Mobile Mayhem.
We've seen Deathleys make some really big plays so far for Xsert, just getting some frags at crucial times. So we see him picking up one right there, evening things up at 2 players apiece. I believe we have 1 player on the outside of the pizza slice, and Deathleys lasering across right there. Only 17 seconds to work with. Rabalo's going to be able to get the first snipe. Will he be able to make it a 2-piece? He will! He seems to be unstoppable with that sniper right now. 7 kills through the first 4 rounds. Dare with 9, and these 2 players single-handedly carrying this Fierce team, combining for 16 kills compared to the 2 for the entire rest of the team.
Yeah, and that's making a big difference. And again, we can't even take too much away from the other players of the side of Fierce. It's mostly just Dare and Rabalo finding the kills first. I mean, Renounce and Forsaken, obviously 2 players that have long Mobile Mayhem history and are consistently top fraggers throughout the season. But again, a lot of it's boiling down to Dare just running and gunning with the MP5 out here, is just finding kill after kill. There's kill number 10 for him. Finally will get dropped by IAC jumping into Boiler Room there, but it's now Henry alone versus 3 members. Make that 2 as he finds Renounce, but this is going to be a rough one for him to get the defuse and the kills, and just like that, it's going to be Forsaken finding the clean snipe.
Forsaken snipes him out of the air right there. A beautiful shot, and that will give Fierce the lead 4-1 right here, as it looks like we may have another quick 2-0 on our hands. threw down the trophy system right there, and he ends up picking it up, so I'm not really sure what that was. But Forsaken looking across mid, trying to find first blood. He ends up hit markering right there as he barely nicked the edge of the window and ended up getting the wall bang damage there instead of the base damage. So a couple players will drop for Fierce off the start. With their down, that makes things a lot easier for Xsert. Renounce is able to get a trade Meralto with the refrag, and now a one-man advantage for Xsert as they look to make the push in. Deathlies will drop. Now a 2v2 is Meralto not able to land the first jump shot, but takes out Raballo with the second. Got one player inside Boiler Rooms on a perfect flank. We'll see if he can get the push in right here. Impulsive shuts it down quickly as Forsaken drops. And Xsert will bring things a little bit closer at 2-4.
Yeah, and Forsaken did actually land a quickscope hit marker onto Meralto there. It was not a kill shot, but as you mentioned, Impulsive right there to help find that kill for the team. And this, I mean, this is the duo I was talking about at the very beginning of this matchup, where we see Deathlies and Impulsive perform well as Slayers, not only in Respawn, but as well in Search and Destroy. Meralto's done a great job finding
contact with enemy.
Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case this round, as it is just Fierce mowing through Xsert, and now it's Impulsive alone, renouncing the sliding corner to pick up the kill. That was a fast round going over to Fierce, though.
Yeah, they were 100% in control the entire time. Dare picks up another 2 kills, and seeming like he is going to be one of the top players for Mobile Mayhem this season. He is absolutely slaying in Search and Destroy, no less. 12 kills through 7 rounds. Those are not numbers that you will see a whole lot, so they're going to go ahead and push up pretty aggressively right here. He's really playing this Slayer role perfectly. It does look like Henry's going to be waiting for him on the opposite side, and that's the one situation where having that one player in the Slayer role to go out, get information, get picks just doesn't quite pay off. Obviously, they do still have the information, but Raballo looking through the window right there, not going to be able to land the shot. Now a 2v4, make it a 1v4. Forsaken all by himself. Won't be able to land the first shot. Hits the follow-up onto an Impulsive, but Henry slides the stairs, and that will now be 3-5 as Xsert will stay alive for at least another round.
Yeah, and Xsert definitely need to try to push for a game 3 here. Ultimately, if even not for the win, it would just, for them, it would be in their favor to deny Fierce a free 10 points that they would get off of a clean 2-0 sweep. Pushing into game 3, as we have mentioned to you guys before, the rules changed a little bit throughout the last season. You no longer lose points for a loss, but you still gain 10 for the 3-round win or 20 for the 2-round sweep. So that could play a big difference through the last couple seasons, Bobby. We've seen some really close races going into the final week. So again, that could play a big difference this season. It does look like we have quite a few kills coming in favor of Fierce right now.
Yeah, they will be up 2 players now. Henry and Impulsive, the only players alive to maybe maintain the hopes of Xsert getting a win right here. Impulsive actually spots a Fierce player, but not able to make the shots happen. He does hit Dare as he comes through, but now 1v3 Raballo, Renounce, and IX still alive. Chasing top side, just looking for that final frag. Renounce not able to spot him, but Raballo pops out the window. Still so good with that sniper. And that will shut things down to give Fierce the 2-0 win as they win in Search and Destroy 6-3.
Yeah, that was a great performance coming out of Fierce there, but I also think Xsert did exceptionally well, specifically in Search and Destroy. Definitely need to work on some of the rotations. In Respawn specifically, obviously we watched them at Hardpoint. Domination is a different setup. But it's definitely something we need to see Xsert work on, because I think this is actually a phenomenal team with incredibly high-skilled players. And I want to see them definitely put the effort in and go far throughout this season. I mean, again, I love watching Impulsive and Meralto play. Forsaken, though, and Renounce and Raballo over here on the side of the Fierce just had such a phenomenal game today.
For sure, we see Raballo picking up the sniper, 11 kills. Not something we've seen him do it before, so we'll see if it's something he maintains throughout the season. And we saw in Stage 4, Xsert was pretty good in Search and Destroy. that seemed to be the one mode where they could at least give Tribe a run for their money. And on day one, actually ended up sweeping them in Search and Destroy, I believe. So if there's one mode that I feel like they can really lean on as their go-to, it's going to be Search, and I think that's still something they can improve on. They've improved a lot, but still definitely got a long way to go. So we are going to go ahead and get ready to hop into game number 3. That's going to be Turbulence. Oh, wait. Exiled versus Gravity. Exiled, most of you will recognize. Gravity, I have no idea who's on that team.
I was actually just looking at the roster, and as I've been hanging out a little more in the COD Mobile community, I do recognize a couple of the names. So Gravity is B-Thug, Yusa, Cello, Lara, Venom, Ninja Kadam, and Ivan. I definitely notice B-Thug and Yusa as players I've recognized through some of the streams I've been watching.
Let's see. Where do you see that roster? Is it in the league rosters?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's about halfway down. Right above Fearless, right below Gene Gaming.
Okay.
Correct, Sim. Yes, correct, Sim. Back in the day. Oh, we do have some heartbreaking news for you, chat. Zim has officially retired from playing in COD Mobile.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
it's horrible. I know, chat. You're gonna be heartbroken.
Make sure you give is it even worth watching anymore?
Let him know you'll miss him.
Like, I honestly, I don't think we should have announced that, because now our viewership is gonna drop by like 75%. I don't think anybody's gonna watch the Mobile Mayhem streams anymore now that Zim's not gonna be playing. That is heartbreaking. It does look like the Gravity roster is a lot of previous Solace and Tragic players: B-Thug, Yusa, Cello, Laura, Venom, Ninja, Ivan. Yeah, B-Thug and Yusa are the only ones I can say I really remember. But keep in mind, I have a pretty terrible memory, so.
They've definitely been showing up a lot more lately. I mean, again, I've been trying. I don't talk much because I watch and listen while I'm like eating lunch at work and stuff. But they have been showing up more and more in the community once again.
Yeah.
So hopefully they will come through with a big performance here, and we will just have to see. Zam, that's not very nice.
All right, touche, getting ready to hop in to game number 3. The game's going pretty quickly so far. We haven't had any real close ones. Hopefully, as we progress into the season, we'll see some of these newer teams improve, but understandably struggling against some of these more well-established rosters that have been in the competitive scene for a while. Taking a look at the schedule once again. After this one, we will have Turbulence versus Gene. Then Tribe versus Violence, probably the one that most of you are excited to watch, especially as this will be, I believe. Well, no, Tribe did play a game in the semifinals after qualifying for Stage 4, but their first regular season appearance since then. And then I'm personally looking forward to Strike Zone versus Infinix. I don't know if Strike Zone is like really a team to be contended with, or if they just ended up just playing out of their minds in Stage 4, but they've definitely got some firepower on that team that should be fun to watch.
Chat's finally catching up to the bad news.
I mean, Zim, you might just have to make your own roster so that the community doesn't riot or something. And we do have the full-on chip squad in here. Ruffles,
Dude,
Funyuns, Lay's, Dorito,
man. At some point, you Exiled boys might need to consider copyright law.
Yeah, I don't
If
know if Activision's gonna allow you to use those names, but you run with them for the time being.
yeah, that probably won't fly in champs if you're hoping to go there, but you know, it's Mobile Mayhem. It's all for fun, right?
Yeah.
It's
All for fun and
money.
$2,500.
Yeah, right, and a bunch of money. Oh man.
But mainly the fun, you know?
And the bragging rights. Alright, chat. Zim says he might play in All-Stars. Don't you worry.
Zim's in chat and he said, "Stop the count!" Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead.
I love this chat.
When they're not being toxic, COD Mobile competitive chat is one of the best in the world.
I don't see them being toxic too much.
Yeah.
At least not while Mobile Mayhem's going on. I'm not gonna say anything outside of Mobile Mayhem, but while Mobile Mayhem's going on, they're pretty tame.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that, chat. We appreciate that. It does not go unnoticed. It does not go unappreciated, I promise.
Zim is MVP. Stop the count.
We should have put him in for Rookie of the Split last season.
How did we not think of that? I guess we voted before he...
It was pretty late. Yeah. It was pretty late. We could have just forced everybody to redo it.
I think we should have done that. I think it would have been a runaway. Lucy with the gifted to Katie, thank you.
785 votes, Zim.
Looks like everybody's readied up. We are good to go. Game number 3.
Yep, should be a good one to get into. It looks like we are just waiting for one more player to connect. This is obviously a map, Bobby, that we know is very hit or miss on the initial hard point here. It's very difficult to hold down before you have score streaks or operators to help you clear the area out quickly. So we typically don't see too much going on here early on, but with both of these teams being...
Hardpoint identified.
Well, I guess not both of them. Gravity being pretty new, with some veteran players, as well as Exiled, who's had some up and down performances through the last season, but overall pretty positive. I think this is a great situation for Gravity to be in their first matchup. They're not up against a a championship level team, or at least based off of last season, but a good team nonetheless, with a lot of potential to really show their stuff. And so far we do have quite a few kills going in favor of Exiled, but halfway through the first hard point here, we just barely have 5 points on the board, which is very common to see between teams that are struggling for point control over the 3 stories. So definitely be keeping an eye out for that. And those look like some trickle points is going to go over here towards the end to Gravity.
And Beetho looking really good off the start. 5 kills for him already, but Lays is going to slide to the top side of the 3-story. Picks up a couple frags himself. Now 4 on the board for him. He's got quick fix enabled that'll allow him to regain some of that HP, and just like that, picks up kill number 7, and he is set up very well for his team in the power position of the top of 3-story. 8 kills now for him. The only player here for the side of Exiled, so waiting for his teammates to make that rotation. Not quite going to be able to take out Ivan. And B-Thug with 7 kills to his name, now looking to make that push into the bottom of the hard point himself. He gets one with the thermite, making a 2-piece. Not able to get the 3-piece as Pringles drops him, and Lay's now up to 9 kills, making 10. Just continuing to cook. Already got a Pred Missile, 380 off the Goliath. Got the Cluster Strike equipped as well. Looking like he could be pretty well set up, pretty much wasting this War Machine, which I don't really love to see, especially with a very contestable hard point coming up right here. We'll see whether or not he's able to get any type of value out of it. He does pick up 1 kill, but not able to get the 2-piece, and now B-Thug able to get a free rotation over toward P3 as a result.
Yeah, pretty even and back and forth start here for these two teams. Moving into third hard point, we have a 28-35 game. But after this third hard point is where things really start to change. The next 2 hard points that follow up here are very, very difficult to break, and the respawns are very, very unforgiving. So that is where we typically start to see even games make a break one way or the other. And again, it's going to rely a lot on seeing what players are able to make the rotations over and win the fight on the back of spawn. Again, we're going to be looking for the strong anchor rotations, which I would very likely, if I were looking at the side of Exiled, just because we've seen more of them, I would say you'd be looking at someone like Darky or Neji, which will be, I believe it's Doritos and Ruffles. I mean, I have to look again. Lays is Silo. Any of these 3 players could definitely make that rotation over towards the anchor of the next couple hard points and really have a big impact on the team. And then just based off of history, I would say B-Thug, Yusta, Cello, any of them may look to make the contest, but maybe even Venom. He does have the shotgun out, and he is struggling to, or struggled early to find any kind of groove, but definitely an opportunity for him to make those, again, anchor rotations, just due to the proximity that a lot of these next hard points have. So that may be something they look into doing. But right now, it's a pretty big lead for the side of Gravity. They've crossed into triple digits. And the side of Exiled, man, they are struggling down here at 38, which is a little bit wild for a team that, again, contested near the top of the last split. But again, we are moving into these hard points that are very hard to break, so be looking for a score big to go one way or another. Right now it's big numbers. Because the Exile, they do get the last big chunk off the hard point. And again, this rotation over, we do have quite a few numbers actually of Gravity already ready, made the rotation over, got the setup, and have a couple kills onto the Exile side. Despite top dragging right now for the team with 16 and Ruffles not too far behind at 13.
Yeah, despite being a new team, Gravity just looking phenomenal right now. 3 players in double digits. B-Thug all the way up at 17 with him inside of a Goliath on the hard point. It's looking like almost a guaranteed win. They were able to get the majority of time on P4 and make the early rotation over toward P5. Once they got that Goliath down, it was basically only a matter of time before they walked away with the win. Short of an absolutely miraculous Annihilator push, I just don't see anything coming out for Exiled right here. As Lays and Ruffles combining for 30 kills, but it's just not going to be enough, not getting enough support from the rest of the cast with players on the hill. It will be a pretty easy win for Gravity in game number 1, 150-69.
Yeah, big win for Gravity there, being a new team with some veteran COD players. Definitely think moving into Search and Destroy, Exiled need to look into chat, see all the copy pasta going on for them. Funnel some of that energy in to try to push us to a game 3. Because again, Exiled through the main season was a team that contested top of the, or at least the top end of the scoring split. And that did struggle quite a bit when it came to obviously the finals time, but again, a team that had very, very strong performances all season long to come through and lose the first matchup of Crash Hardpoint to the new guys. Not the best look for Exiled moving into the season 4 here of COD which is unfortunate because they all came through with a nice clean look. They found some matching names, they had some matching profiles. Granted, maybe some copyright issues. They looked pretty professional about it overall, and then got smacked a little bit. But it's all right. We'll be heading into Search and Destroy, see if they're able to turn things around, see if they can push us to a game 3, or if Gravity, the new guys on the block, may be able to close things out 2-0 and find themselves 20 points here early on in Mobile Mayhem Season 4.
Yeah, based on not really recognizing many of the names, I wasn't expecting huge things from Gravity, but they played that to perfection. They were winning their gunfights, their rotations were on point. They were set up perfectly at every position where they needed to be, and ended up being an easy win as a result. We're getting ready to hop into Search and Destroy on firing range. Just waiting for Pringles to ready up, and we will be good to go for that one. So I can't really remember if there was one specific mode where we felt like Exiled really excelled. It felt like they were pretty even across most of them, so this will really be a testing grounds both for them and also for Gravity. We didn't see anybody sniping in respawn for that first hardpoint game, which is not too surprising to see, but the snipers, as always, will play a big role. Looks like Pringles will be sniping over on Exiled, and B-Thug has pulled out the sniper for Gravity.
Does look like, once again, we are just waiting for one member of Gravity to load in here. Moving into Search and Destroy on firing range. This is a long-time fan favorite map for Call of Duty Esports. It is a reoccurring title occurring in several actual main title console and PC games, as well as obviously making the rotation here into COD Mobile. So this should be familiar territory for all of these players. Unlike Crossfire, obviously a map that is in COD Mobile, it's in Call of Duty, but not as much, obviously, a reoccurring map, not something we've seen previously in Mobile Mayhem. So definitely look for some mix-ups on some of the new map rotations that we have for you guys this season.
And despite their struggles in game number 1, very strong start coming in here for Exiled, as they're able to drop 4 of the Gravity players on the opposing team, and B-Thug going to be left all by himself now, trying to push back of America, not even going to be able to cross the road. He'll get dropped. It will be Exiled taking the 1-0 lead, and seeming like they may have a little turnaround. Funyuns with 3 kills on the board. I believe we saw a quick scope hit marker coming in from Pringles, and Dorito up at 2 kills himself. They seem pretty comfortable with the aggressive A push, which is not something we see too terribly consistently, and as expected, after having that successful A push, sitting back a little more and now trying to play for that first blood to open up some opportunities for them to be able to push in.
Yeah, definitely a great spot for them to be in. Exiled, I mean, again, they need to come through with a win here. They need to push us to a game 3. It's B-Thug finding the opening kill onto Darky/Dorito, though. So we definitely have a much better start to round 2 coming out of the side of Gravity. And, man, Venom kind of popped off this round. Found 2 headshots on members over the bomb there. Been doing a great job with the shotgun here in trailer. I don't know why I was trying to blank there. But that is going to tie us up 1-1. Gravity with a big comeback after Exiled took a convincing win on round 1 here in Search and Destroy.
And that one was literally the exact opposite of what round 1 was. So we saw the 5-0 coming in for Exiled, followed by a 5-0 coming in for Gravity. So once again, an aggressive push coming in for Exiled, not really paying off as Yusa's able to get the first blood. Couple frags coming in, only 1 player remains for Exiled. Lays is able to pick up the frag, and we'll hit some shots onto Cello as well, but Gravity now retaking the lead as they go up 2-1, and seeming a little bit more confident of themselves, as the aggressive push just typically especially for teams that aren't 100% certain of their strategy, their positioning and everything, just typically does not go well on firing range. We've seen that happen the last 2 rounds in a row for Exiled, so even though it worked in round 1, it's not something that's always repeatable, but they make the aggressive push again. Couple frags come in, opens up a door. They should be able to get the plant onto B and set themselves up to potentially even things up at 2-2.
Definitely gonna try. They do have the player advantage right now, but just like that, it started to look like maybe things were gonna even out. And then 1, 2, 3, it's Exiled finding the final couple kills that they needed, tying things up 2-2. That was a great round for them. Funyuns, who is Toph, did a pretty big clutch for the team there, finding a couple kills. Pringles struggling to come online, and Pringles is end. So this is going to be an incredibly difficult team to kind of
commentate.
Yeah.
Because usually players have like relatively unique names, so you can differentiate who does what. But when everybody's name is a chip,
recognize. Yeah.
When everybody's name is a chip, it makes it a little bit more complicated. So we are going to be tied up at 2-2. Dorito will drop P-Thug, and 6 kills on the board for him. I can't even remember which chip had the most kills in game number 1. It's just all blurred in my mind right now.
Lays, which was
yes, Lays. Lays had a really good game and only has 2 kills on the board. And as I say that, picks up a frag. Yusa with the refrag. Now it's going to be Cello, the only player remaining for Gravity, and it won't let me look at the first-person perspective. Pringles hops up.
Ooh, what a shot.
Had 0 kills heading into that round and picks up 2 right there to give Exiled the lead once again, 3-2.
Yeah, and this is a big one for Exiled again. Came in one of the leading teams through the last season of Mobile Mayhem. Got kind of smacked by Gravity, the new guys in the first matchup for Crash Hardpoint. So they certainly need to at least not go down 2-0 here. And they're kind of putting themselves in a pretty big position there. Ruffles is able to return a couple kills there. It's now a 2v1 versus B-Thug as Ruffles gets the kill onto Venom and B-Thug. 5 kills. Big round for Ruffles there, who is Neji. A consistent top fragger through the last season of Mobile Mayhem for this team. No surprise there, but man, that was a quick 5-man walk through him for one player to have.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened in that round because B-Thug was standing right next to his teammate who dropped to the silenced AR behind. So I would have assumed that his teammate would have communicated to him that there was a silenced AR on boxes, but he just kind of stood there by the bomb and ate the bullets and died. So I don't know if that was a lapse in communication, if somehow he wasn't able to figure out where the opposing player was, but just like that, Exiled, who looked like they were struggling off the start, has come storming back. It's going to be a defuse coming in for Ruffles right there. And now with a 5-2 lead, looking like they could shut this one down and push us to our first game 3 of the night as we would hop into domination.
Admittedly, Bobby, I kind of miss old school search and destroy, where when you died, your mic cut out. that was the OG search and destroy ways. Obviously here in COD Mobile, there's I mean, that's not realistic.
Especially with Discord being a thing.
Discord, right? Discord being a thing. So you do gotta listen for those call-outs from your team. I mean, that seemed like a blatantly obvious one that they should have got. And just didn't happen. It allowed Ruffles to get the 1v5 clutch. Ruffles finding another kill onto Cello there. 9 kills on the board for him. Pringles definitely struggling a little bit. He did have one good round where he was able to pick up the double kill to close things out for the team. But it does appear to be mostly Darky and Neji, which I'm going to be honest, based off of last season into now, no surprise there. Ruffles just barely misses the kill.
Oh, and he's now going to be the only one alive. A 1v2. B-Thug's actually able to close that one out. And it looks like Gravity will stay alive just a little bit longer as Ruffles having some big rounds, just not able to close things out. He and Dorito combining for 19 so far. definitely the big carry so far for Exiled, and eventually I will memorize the names of all these players and who they used to be, but for the time being, oh my gosh, what a push coming in right here. So much aggression over on Gravity. Cello laying down spots up above. They're going to get the plant down. Up a man, and with comms on the location of the one remaining player to make that easier. And Dorito now going to be the only player remaining. He's got a trip mine right next to him, so got to be aware of that. Not able to hit the spray over top of the box. Now in a very tough spot, not going to be able to win the gunfight. And Gravity staying alive, now 4-5, only one round back. They could possibly push this to around 11.
They definitely could, and it would be really big for Gravity to close things out with a 2-0 victory over Exiled if they're able to do so. Exiled, a strong team from the open season in Mobile Mayhem Season 3. To come through as a new team and knock them down in week 1 would be huge for Gravity, and it would set a really aggressive tone for teams that have to play against them in the upcoming weeks. So far, no first blood for either team, but you have to imagine Exiled are definitely looking to close things out and push us to a game 3 here. And there it is. Pringle's going to find an opening kill onto B-Thug, and that is going to be a great situation for them to be in, as Darky also finds a kill onto Cello there.
Yeah, now up 2 players. Should be pretty manageable. Make it 3 players. Venom going to be the only player remaining. He's going to drop quickly, and just as I started to commentate, the round is going to end right there, and we are going to be going to a game number 3. As you can see, the all-chip squad, a.k.a. Exiled, able to come away with the win right there. Ruffles and Dorito, the biggest contributors to that win, able to pull things out, and we will get ready to hop into domination. It's going to be standoff. Ooh, this will be a good one.
Yeah, and this will be our first round 3 of Mobile Mayhem Season 4. So happening on the first day is pretty clean. I think last season we didn't see it until the second week, which would have been the 4th day instead of the first day. So definitely a good challenge that Gravity are putting out here for Exiled. Exiled definitely, I think if you're a returning top scoring team for Mobile Mayhem, you definitely want to at least not lose on day 1 to the new guys, but you know, Gravity could end up coming out and being a top team this season. I mean, again, it's too early to tell, but Exiled, I mean, again, they are a team that has historically had their ups and downs, so we'll have to keep an eye out for this 3rd game and see what they're able to do. We're just waiting on a couple players to get readied up. Yeah, the only way I'm going to remember a lot of these is Darky is Dorito because they both start with D. That's going to be the way I remember that one.
Oh, is that okay? I need to look at the chat real quick.
I can post it real quick in the. Don't think they have access to this room, so it shouldn't harm anybody by taking this. It says it might ping end, but that is not my problem.
Looks like we are going to have a lot. Wait, how am I still in this room?
That's what I was just wondering too.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right, we're good.
For the game, awesome. COD Mobile's first mythic blueprint.
Woohoo! At the low, low price of $500.
Yeah, I seen someone in chat talking about that. That is wild.
I don't know if it's actually 500. I'm interested to at least look at it.
There was a couple people saying they spent like almost $400 on it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Bold strategy, Cotton.
If you guys would like to send some elixir and gifted subs so I can get that, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. All right, getting ready to hop into domination. Here we go. Some shotguns in play. You love to see it. The shotgun meta, especially, I mean, on standoff. There's just so many tight angles, so many close areas where you can make it work. No surprise to see right there. Pringles will die in the flames of the Molotov. And we are off to the races. Nobody breaking out quite yet. Only one kill on the board for Exiled. And now the kill feed is filling up. Venom picks up the frag onto Dorito. Pretty good progress over onto the B flag. And it looks like we'll actually have a pretty early B cap coming in. Pringles pulling out a shotgun of his own. He will drop quickly to Ivan, who picks up the 2-piece right there. Now 3 kills on the board for him. Ruffles with the 3-piece, and the HVK really becoming one of those guns that it looks like we may start seeing entire 5 stacks of teams. With the dominance of the shotgun, I don't think that's something that we'll really see anymore. But definitely just absolutely crazy how well some of these players have been able to do with it. Ruffles with 6 kills, the rest of his team combining for 2. He's definitely going to need some more help if they're going to have a shot at pulling out the win in this one.
Yeah, and this is certainly a pretty rough spot to be in if you are Exiled, starting off with such a early B cap coming out of the side of Gravity. And they're doing great. I mean, Cello with a clean triple kill there does eventually get dropped by Lays, but Ivan right there to back the team up. They will maintain the B cap, and this has so far been a very dominant respawn team, even with some players that we don't really recognize too much, and the couple players that we do for this team, Bobby, still not really players that we've seen too much in a while.
Yeah. We do have Pringles respawn sniping off the start. He's actually not having a bad game. 6 kills on the board for him, and he is going to drop out of top of shops right there. And just really good consistency across the board for Gravity. Yuna already in double digits. To be in double digits this early is something you got to love if you are a Gravity player. And he's got the SAM turret equipped as well. That'll set them up well to combat any potential VTOLs. And just like that, Yusa's got 14 kills. He's already got full score streaks right now. Venom not even using persistence, but 10 kills coming in for him as well. He's going to be able to take Funyuns out of the top of Grandma's. And heading into the half, this is going to be a really good position for this Gravity team, as Pringles just picked up a 3-piece to end it. So hopefully a little bit of progress on his streaks to maybe make things a little bit closer, but he is currently the only player in double digits over on Exiled.
Yeah, and again, this is such a phenomenally strong way for Gravity to come through in day 1 of Season 4.
Silvio with the 5 gifted, thank you! Give me some donut hyper chat.
Returning players in the sense that we haven't seen them in quite a while. So for them to come through with a big performance against one of the top scoring teams, I mean, this is a great look for them. This is a little bit of fear factor now that could be instilled to their next opponents, because again, Exiled is a team that so very strongly contested the last season. And Gravity looking solid. Their rotations are good. Their gunfights are exceptionally strong in their favor. Yusa doing great, 16 kills on the board. Ivan not far behind, finds a double, finds a triple before getting dropped by Pringles. Puts 15 on the board for him. Pringles doing a pretty good job here over on the side of Exiled, though, trying to keep his team in this one.
Yeah, and it looked like they were about to get the retake over on B. Not quite able to get it. They got a lot of players pushing up, but with a War Machine coming into play for Lays, who has really done nothing at all so far, but making some crucial plays for his team, that's going to clear off the B flag and give them some progress on the way back down as well. It will be 3 players hopping on right here. They should be able to finish off the cap, especially with the frag going in over on Delhi. They'll be up 25 and looking to continue to build, but with a cluster strike now over on the B flag, and likely there will be just a constant cycle of cluster strikes on that B flag to try to hold it off as long as possible. They don't really need to hold it for all that long in order to secure the win by solo cap. So even if we do see Exiled calling in the triple cap, they're probably going to need to, or calling in the double cap, they'll likely need to get a triple cap in order to close this one out.
I mean, we're just seconds away from that being the case, too. Exiled just crossing into 80. I think this very next tick, that should secure a triple cap lead for the side of Exiled. And this is more and more looking like Gravity taking a 2-0 win over Exiled, honestly shy of just a miracle. Ivan is getting ready to have his VTOL come online. VThug not too far away from the advanced UAV. Still has a cluster strike and a Pred missile in his pocket. And not a lot of really big score streaks that are able to help us like cap. We do have the cap going over to the side of Exiled now, but they need to get the triple if they want to have any sort of success here. And it already looks like a B cap going back over in favor of Gravity. And I think this might just be too little too late for this Exiled roster, Bobby, which this is the big upset so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Ivan calling in that VTOL, pretty much 100% secured the win for Gravity. We got more cluster strikes on the way in, and even though Cello and B-Thug have had pretty lackluster games, the combo of Yusa and Ivan combining for 56 kills, that is not something that we see a whole lot in the game. Still not over. We do see a double cap coming in, and Lay's actually doing some work once again. He had a really slow start, and Dorito's actually going to call in a VTOL himself. I believe there are a couple players running the SAM turret over on Exiled, or over on Gravity, but I don't think they're able to get any of them down. Cello's going to be able to call in the cluster strike over onto the C flag. That will allow them to close things out right here. So even with a VTOL up in the sky, it's not going to matter. They'll come away with the win, 150 to 117.
Yeah, big opening win for Gravity here. They set the tone really heavily and quick there. As potentially one of the respawn teams, Fear definitely struggled a little bit in Search and Destroy, which, to be fair, is typically where we see Exiled perform a little bit better. But man, Gravity, definitely a respawn team that you can't sleep on.
Yeah, and they really didn't play that bad in Search and Destroy either. They definitely had some struggles, and for the most part, it just seemed like Exiled was the more confident team there. But as newcomers, to get a win against a pretty established team is definitely a really good first step for them. And honestly, hoping to see more of our newcomers make similar strides as we take a look at the schedule one more time. Turbulence and Gene, both newcomers. Strike Zone going to be a newcomer as well. Regardless, one newcomer is going to, or will have a total of two newcomers getting wins tonight, as Turbulence and Gene are both new teams to Mobile Mayhem. So that'll be our next matchup, and I'm excited to see how those two teams match against each other. Turbulence, a lot of experienced players, so definitely going to give them the edge, but Gene has that experience playing in Stage 4 of the COD Mobile Championship, so can't sleep on them by any means, and assuming they've been putting in the work as well to be able to make it into one of those guaranteed spots. We'll see if they can maybe manage to give Turbulence a run for their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And Turbulence was a team that had such a phenomenal performance on Tuesday. Again, I've kind of talked about them as a mini all-star team because, again, Nova Imperium is the team of kind of collective pros that trickled off of other teams that came through as again, an all-star team, and that's essentially what this roster looks like for the side of Turbulence. Beamed was such a strong player for the lineup of Fierce in their last season. So to lose him, I think that even though I was talking big about them still being a consistent team and still stand by that, Beamed was a big, heavy presence for them. So that is now a presence that we obviously moving on over to Turbulence now. I mean, the Turbulence roster overall just really solid, and I think they're going to stir things up a lot this season. Beamed, Space, Lothy, So-So, Jez, A-Flows. I know you've talked about being such a phenomenal sniper historically, so keep an eye out for those guys because we will be getting them in here pretty soon.
Yep. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick, and hopefully by the time
Perfect.
we get
'cause
back,
I want to go do the same too.
All right, fantastic. All right, I'm back. I don't know if Day is back or not. Check.
I am indeed here.
Okay, just checking.
Yep.
We do have Gene Gaming. Actually, quite a few players that I used to play with all the time, and then obviously Turbulence, part former Fierce, part just a bunch of other places. A lot of people I recognize from the Mobile Mayhem chat on a pretty regular basis, so should make for some great entertainment value as we do get ready to hop in. Coding. Okay, yeah, Coding was on the Stage 4 team, as was Talha, iPiano. I don't know if I remember Mario Ray, and I don't know that Jesus Can Save You was on the team for Stage 4 as well. He may have been on the roster, but not been one of the starters. But regardless, we should be good to hop in pretty soon. All right, here, just waiting for Beamed and Space to ready up. And we'll be good to go for game number 1, which will be Hardpoint Crossfire. Got you a little rock star?
I also got myself a glass of water because that was running out.
Gotcha.
But it is unnamed energy drink.
If there's any energy drinks out there that would like to sponsor Mobile Mayhem, you just hit my DMs, all right? Actually, hit Sylvia's DMs. She's better at that.
Telling Ronan, man, he's supposed to hook us up.
We got Slothy.
Working on that.
Slothy picks up the frag onto iPiano. A couple missed shots right there, but regardless, Gene off to a pretty good start. Slothy picks up kill number 2. Frags coming in for both teams. Back and forth, 12 points on the board for Gene Gaming, and they're actually able to hop back on. Perfectly placed Thermite that'll keep Slothy from making any type of a push up. They'll be able to continue to take upward as the lead now moving up to about 20, and Gene Tala hopping into the stairway to get the Echo frag, something that we haven't seen used a whole lot in competitive play, but has started to make its appearance and probably going to be used more and more, especially as players start to master it. Slothy going to be able to enter the hard point and get a couple seconds of scrap time. Not sure that was necessarily a rotation that would pay dividends, but could potentially get a flank right there. He does as he drops Piano as well as Tella, and with his teammates set up, he will be taken out, but at 6 kills already off to a pretty good start, and we do see Turbulence set up pretty well in top of P2.
Yeah, absolutely. The first hard point on this map is, I compared this map to Crash earlier. The first hard point is very much not like Crash, but these corner hard points definitely favor holding the respawn objective, and between these two teams, definitely going to have to be looking for who's able to make the rotation over. I mean, if you're a betting man, I would obviously lend favor to the side of Turbulence just based off of the roster, this mini all-star roster. But what is the name of this team again?
Gene Gaming.
Gene Gaming. New guys on the block, had a pretty big open on the first hard point. But again, I think a lot of that had to do with the side of Turbulence just setting up to control the rotation and control the flow of the game. They anchored spawns early. They got a good amount of score bounced back after their trickle on the first hard point. And I very much would expect to see some of these corner hard points really start to trickle in favor of Turbulence. They're all very skilled veteran players. We saw the anchor coming through early on, as I mentioned, and we actually already see Beamed and Soso kind of setting up, getting prepared for anchor on next while they're rotating through and finding those Slayer kills, potentially looking for some score streaks. I mean, Slothy, what a monster. 16 kills on the board right now for his team. That's almost as much as the entire team of Gene Gaming. I mean, just a couple kills shy and he'll be there, so be keeping an eye out for that as Slothy trades himself for one there.
And
almost 100 points on the board now for the side of Turbulence.
It looked like Turbulence was about to get 2 complete hard points together. They're not able to do so, but they're perfectly set up for next, and if they can hold it uncontested, I think they might actually be able to get the win right here. Actually, will be a couple seconds short, so they'll need at least 2 or 3 more seconds on those next hard points. Cody not going to be able to hop up there, and like you said,
the win here.
They can get the win here. I don't know what numbers I was looking at, but Turbulence can, in fact, get the win here. Slothy already up to 18 kills. Soso moving to double digits as well right now. It looks like, for the most part, Gene Gaming's just trying to get a contest, but not able to get anywhere close. We got a perfect setup from Turbulence right now, continuing to tip upwards. Mario going to be the only one that can potentially contest, but Chaos perfectly times his own War Machine to take him out, and just like that, picks up another frag. That will likely mark the end of the game as he sends out the Hunter Killer. And as expected, this Turbulence team with a lot of veteran players looking really, really good off the start, winning 150 to 65.
Yeah, and that was a commanding win. Again, we saw some early trickle points going on over to the side of Gene Gaming, but after that, I mean, it was just an absolute slay festival for Slothy. Slothy finishing that game out with a whopping 18, 4, and 12 assists. So big plays out of him. Not only
and he had the most time on the hill.
Top time. Yeah.
He had a minute and 2 seconds on the hill. He was straight. I mean, I think most of it came from that last hard point. He was just sitting there looking over the counter, spraying through to anybody that tried to push in, and Gene Gaming just couldn't make anything happen right there after that first hard point. You can see IPNO 3 and 15, Cody 4 and 12, Tala 3 and 9. So when you got 3 players going triple negative, it's never going to go your way, regardless of what your rotations. We talk about this all the time. You got to win those gunfights. So we'll see if they
Rotations help, but if you don't win the gunfights, they don't really do you that much.
Does not do a whole lot. We're getting ready to hop into Search and Destroy on Standoff, and obviously Gene Gaming would like to bounce back with something a little bit stronger, especially with how poorly that first game went. So we'll see if they can manage to pull something out right here and give Turbulence a run for their money. Everybody's readied up. We're good to go for game number 2. Yeah.
Definitely, I mean, you got to lean in favor of Turbulence going into this matchup. Standoff with having Beamed and Soso on the team. Phenomenal snipers for this lineup. You definitely expect to see some good opening picks out of them. Slothy, the man with the plan. See, he's got the Karambit knife out. Maybe looking for some knife kills. That is something we actually, almost at this point for Slothy, don't consider trolling. We've actually seen him get a lot of legitimate kills in COD Mobile Mayhem history with the knife, so definitely be keeping an eye out for him. He's got the Fennec out. Really strong gun for winning those up close and personal running gun fights. Not so good at winning fights like that where Piano's got the corner held down and finds the shots that he needs. It's now a lonely beamed last man alive for the team. And with Cody and Piano over here getting the bomb planted down, it's now not only a 1v2, but it is Beamed also having to pick up a kill, and then the defuse as well. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, Piano, good signs for him, especially with how much he struggled in that first game. So to have 2 kills on the board already, regardless of the outcome right here, is definitely a plus. He does get hit markered right there, will drop to Beamed, and now the 1v2 looking more manageable. Ends up getting the hit marker once again, now trying to push around the side. He only needs 1 more bullet. It looks like Code's going to be able to regen right here. Unfortunate timing for Beamed, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make things happen. It looks like Cody is just playing with him at this point, and he knows he's got no option but to go for the defuse. He's going to be able to clutch. Perfectly played time right there. Strafed, moved around, dodged all the bullets that he could, and Gene Gaming able to go up 1-0 as a result.
Yeah, Gene definitely needed that after such a strong win coming out of the side of Turbulence there in game 1. We do see Beamed off of the sniper this round, actually pulling out the AR, so it'll be Soso, the solo sniper for the team. Space trading 1-for-1 there. Slothy finds the return kill onto Piano. It's going to give a 1-member advantage here for the side of Turbulence, and they definitely needed that going into a round 2 that they lost the first round. But man, Gene Gaming finding some clean kills that they definitely needed here.
Yeah, Jesus with the, I'm going to say Jesus because it feels weird saying Jesus. Getting the nice quick scope right there to even things up at a 2-2, and just like that, Soso trading on the opposite side. Tala going to be the only one remaining for Gene now on the backside of the tractor, trying to slow the push, but not a whole lot he can do. He's got an AR on one side, he's got a sniper on the other. Not going to be able to stop the push, and that will allow Turbulence to even things up. 1-1 right here. Beamed with 3 kills through the first couple of rounds, and
Defend the objective.
as expected, just one of the more consistent players over on this team. Concussion nade, something that we've started to see more and more as well, especially given how wide their range is and how effective it is whenever you do actually land a concussion nade. Definitely something that it's not surprising to see. It is Space getting the first blood. Beamed able to pick up a frag onto Mario Ray as well, and now a 2-man advantage here for Turbulence. In Space pulls out the Akimbo Phoenix. I didn't even know these players had unlocked it yet, but we do have Akimbo Phoenix in the game, and I'm very intrigued to see how that one's gonna play out.
Kind of reminds me of
No
what
way.
was that gun called? That ooh.
No! Oh, that would have been such a clean 1v3, but Jesus was not able to make it happen right there, and just like that, the lead going over to Turbulence.
Destroy the objective.
4 kills coming in for Jesus, but not enough to close that one out, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look. I believe, yeah, it's Space that's got the Akimbo Phoenix out, so we're going to take a look at him and see how he plays with these.
If anybody played, I believe it was Modern Warfare 3, this is essentially the kind of toxic that the FMG9 Akimbo was. Which was Akimbo machine pistols, and I mean, they were nasty, so definitely be keeping an eye out there for them. Fortunately, no ADS, but all sorts of up close and personal run and gun.
my
Gunning people down. Can he find the third?
What? He got the reload off! What am I watching? Oh. Somebody get
What a
COD Mobile on the
flex.
phone.
What a
Oh my gosh. He must have sleight of hand on. I don't know how in the world it's possible that he got that reload in time. That was something else, and based on the success that he had in that round, I'm expecting to see him run it for the entire rest of the game, so I'm just gonna watch him the entire time.
It'd definitely be fun, definitely be different.
Ooh, but Piano waiting for him around the corner. Able to drop him off quickly with the HVK, and now 6 kills on the board for him. 2-man advantage as Mario Ray's frag onto Chaos comes in, and Gene Tala with the bomb in hand, but not really pushing anything right now. Soso does get a refrag as Jesus will drop. The snipes not quite as good for Soso today as they have been on Tuesday, but this is also a very different team that he's playing as well, so we'll see if he can make it happen. Not going to spot Tala on the backside, but absolutely ready for the players jumping out. He's not going to be able to land it. Now a 2-man advantage once again for Gene, who could potentially even things up or at least make it a little bit more manageable. Beamed on the backside of the A site, waiting for that push in. Not spotting anybody quite yet. Tala pushing in to Cubby and setting up for the bomb plant right here. iPiano going to be able to land some shots, but not able to get the frag onto Beamed. It will be him all by himself against the 3 remaining players for Gene, and really just waiting for them to make a mistake, but you can see them set up perfectly. Mario Ray's able to hit the shots. That'll bring us to 3-2 with Turbulence still holding the lead.
Defend the objective. They have the bomb.
Yeah, that was a big round that Gene needed there. I was kind of flicking through some of the weapon setups that we have here. I mean, this is kind of one thing you do have to consider, and one thing I actually like about Space running the Akimbo Phoenix here, it gives their team a bit of up-close and personal gunfight potential. Meanwhile, you look over at the side of Gene, and it is all ARs and sniper rifles. They have the range pick advantage if they get in a situation where that could potentially play in their favor. However, again, you saw it there with that matchup with Space over at the A-side bomb, where if you get into an up-close personal gunfight, he is gonna lose in the AR fight every single time, and that is another quick, clean victory there for the side of Turbulence. who are looking to close things out 2-0 here.
Destroy the
Definitely
objective.
want to see
Enemy has the bomb.
Gene. This team is actually looks to have a couple incredibly strong players. Piano and Jesus are doing exceptionally well here in Search and Destroy, as well as solid in Hardpoint as well. But man, this Turbulence team
Oh
is
my
just a strong lineup, man.
Sosa's got to take a chill pill. He ended that last round with a no scope, follows it up with a jump scope, then he dark scopes to get the two-piece, and just like that, Cody, the only person alive, he's actually going to kill himself with the RPG. He said,
Next round.
"Nobody makes me bleed my own blood," and just like that, Turbulence goes up 5-2, and like you said, looking like they could close things out to make this a quick 2-0 series. Sosa, who I talked about not hitting as many snipes, now up to 9 kills to lead all players, and as a result of his accuracy so far, no push from over on the A side for Gene Gaming. A couple players drop for each team. Beam gets the two-piece onto Gene, and we'll be able to regen as well. We've got space with the Akimbo. Fenix trying to push these players, but Tala able to win the gunfight. Regardless, Piano's going to be the only player alive for Gene Gaming. And he's surrounded right there. Sosa once again hitting those snipes and closes it out to give the 6-2 win to Turbulence.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big win for Turbulence. Again, coming into this matchup, definitely what we would have expected. And I mean, I gotta say, this roster I think is actually going to work out really well for them as well. I mean, obviously Soso beamed, phenomenal performance, 10 and 8 kills respectively. The rest of the team, I mean, certainly did not struggle. This was more of a Soso. Just towards the middle of the game, really started taking off, made it difficult to find kills. Obviously Soso. I mean, my dude even landed a no scope in the middle of that matchup. So I mean, that was just utter dominance performance from the side of Turbulence. The rest of the team, I mean, not struggling at all. Slothy 6 kills, Space 6 kills, Beamed 8 kills, 5 kills for Chaos. And Gene Gaming, for a new team that we really didn't know much about, I actually think individually had some really strong performances. Piano across the board in Game 1 and Game 2 performed pretty well for the team. So definitely some players to look forward to and see how they can kind of evolve moving through the season here. Again, this is day 1, and we have a much longer season here for Mobile Mayhem Season 4, so a lot can change. Things early on here may not be the way the season ends out. We've seen before a lot of newer teams and come through really strong challengers. Exiled, a team that came in. Infinix, a team that when they came in, they were unknown and then just had big performances. And I think Gene actually has quite a bit of potential to do so if they can keep up their A game.
For sure, lots of newcomers, lots of both players and teams to just get used to and try to study them, figure out what their play styles are, what their strengths, weaknesses, needs are. Definitely going to be a very unique season of Mobile Mayhem. So we're getting ready to hop into our second to last matchup of the night. It is going to be Tribe Gaming versus Violence. Two teams that have been around for a while. Tribe Gaming, your North America champions for Stage 4 of the Call of Duty Mobile Championships. We'll go ahead and work on getting both teams loaded in as we get ready to hop into game number 2.
We get ready to hop into game number 2. Are you okay, Buppy?
Yep.
We should have a whole another matchup coming up ahead of us.
Yep. There's a lot of games.
Tribe versus this is gonna be a longer season, guys. I mean, be prepared for it. There's a whole extra set of matches every day. The season lasts a couple extra weeks. Obviously, if you were here on Tuesday, you know we're gonna have qualifiers at the opening of seasons where there's slots available, or for teams to potentially just bump themselves up into Mobile Mayhem. So lots of new exciting things for you guys this season. We also little bit of teaser. We do have potentially working on a highlight reel for each week, so keep an eye out for that. We'll give you guys more updates on that as we get closer to coming out with that. It'll be a YouTube channel for you guys to watch, just in case if you missed a week and kind of want to see the most exciting plays. So big things here for Mobile Mayhem Season 4.
For sure, it does look like we've already got one player loaded in. Hopefully everybody else will follow soon after, as we got Marshy and Leon loading in for Tribe Gaming. I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision and send the invite to Bolu as well, as he is the IGL for the team, and he'll get loaded in. We've already got most of this Tribe team here, so just working on getting Violence in, and once we do, we should be good to go for game number 5.
Definitely looking to be a long night ahead of us, but we have some incredible games ahead of you guys still. Obviously, Tribe Gaming, a pretty big fan favorite historically, as well as then in our final matchup of the night, we will have Infinix, which is our reigning champions of Mobile Mayhem from Season 3, as well, obviously, a big, exciting, and friendly community that they bring along to TO. Usually gives us that host right before they start their games. Brings a lot of positive energy forward towards them. So expect exciting things here. And Infinix is a team that continues to impress us season after season, Bobby. Tribe, a team that struggled quite a bit in Season 2, bounced back pretty strong in Season 3. Violence, who Tribe are up against now, definitely a team that has struggled with consistency, but has some solid potential. So I'm definitely excited to potentially see what they can bring to the table here for Season 4. You have to imagine a lot of these teams have done a lot of practicing to get ready through here. I know I've been seeing a lot of teams are scrimming with Infinix, so that's a big one for them. But I mean, this roster has talent, though. I mean, Decoy, Poison, Willie, Lazary, Mason came through with a big performance. Velo came through with the car over and over again last season with just really big, flashy plays. So hopefully we can see some good things out of Violence coming through this season.
Definitely. I mean, some of those kilo snipes that we saw last season were kind of ridiculous. So I'm intrigued to see if that's like a meta that's actually gonna make its way in. The thing is, the kilo, even when you got the iron sight on it, doesn't really scope in that much faster than any other of the regular bolt action snipers. So whether or not we're gonna see that as a meta, still to be seen. But we got most of our Tribe players in. Working on getting Violence loaded in as well. Keep in mind, we do have one more game after this. It's going to be Strike Zone versus Infinix. Probably the matchup I'm most looking forward to. Haven't seen a ton from Strike Zone, but we saw them put up a really good fight in Stage 4. And Infinix are our reigning champions for Mobile Mayhem Season 3. And let me just send the invite to Little B. There we go. We got all of Tribe loaded in. But yeah, one really notable thing that you guys might remember from Strike Zone is a player named Poppy, who actually had probably like double-digit bat kills in total for a couple of matches, which is not something that we see a whole lot. So,
who is that?
Poppy is his name.
I think I do remember you
yeah.
telling me about that. Yeah, I do remember you telling me about that actually.
Yeah.
Is that something you think we're going to see here in Mobile Mayhem?
I've got a feeling that we will. He seemed to be pretty confident with his bat strat, so.
Because I know the big one that we've seen in the past is Forsaken one day actually had the kilo out with the bat, and he had, I think, 4 kills that game. I mean, that was exciting stuff, man.
Yeah.
I love seeing players mix things up. You know, I don't you know, the HG40 meta really pissed me off at the beginning. Excuse my language, but I mean, it was just over and over HG40.
It's a good thing you weren't here during the Cordite meta. You would have hated that. When it was the Cordite meta, it was pretty much all 5 stacks. It wasn't even like 7 to 8 people. It was straight up 2 to 5 stacks of Cordite players. Is pretty much what it was.
Rough. Well, I'm glad I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
And you know, Call of Duty historically for me too in console versions, there's definitely been guns in that in that aspect. I mean the KN94 back in the day, disgusting gun. 2-shot AR with a 2-round burst at the beginning.
Yeah.
Nutty. If you hit the body shot and the headshot, somebody died. That was
Dang.
all you saw for a while. That very quickly got some nerfs and got competitive.
It does look like we've got our violence players on the way in, so we should be good to go pretty soon here. I'm trying to think back to other guns that were like, yeah, this needs to be insta-nerfed. One that comes to mind is the ASM-10. It's honestly still pretty similar to what it was before, but back when it had like pretty quick ADS time, pretty good movement speed, and it was an automatic 3-tap, so it would kill faster than any SMG in the game, and it could do it from like 20 meters. That was pretty broken. I think it was actually banned from competitive for a while until they did the proper nerf to it, but that's why we got balance changes.
Yeah, definitely been some exciting things for Call of Duty in the past couple years. Gonna be honest, not a fan of the jetpacks. When the jetpacks and the exosuits came out, took a pretty substantial break from Call of Duty then. Got back into it recently, obviously, as you know, sitting here casting COD Mobile with you. Started playing more console version as well lately. Maybe casting a tournament with WB Green this weekend. So there's some exciting things in the COD community that have definitely drawn me back in. I like a lot of the specifically for Mobile Mayhem or COD Mobile in general. I think this last patch has been really strong for the competitive scene in the sense that we see a lot of different guns across the board at this point. I mean, there's still like a solid top 5 that we see pretty consistently, but overall, I think there's definitely some spiciness. I mean, the Fennec play today out of space was just awesome to watch.
Yep, for sure. Looks like we are almost good to go. First game will be Hardpoint Standoff. So typically one of the maps where we see more shotguns come into play, especially as of late. No specific players over here on Tribe that I recognize as shotgunners. But I feel like also a good chance we could see the Akimbo Phoenix come into play. Any gun that's going to really dominate in the close range on Hardpoint Standoff will typically be a good option. So as more and more players start to get that unlocked, we'll probably see an influx of it. I don't know how viable it's going to be. I know there is the obvious decrease in the amount of damage that the guns do, because if you actually had 2 Fennec that did the same base damage as the actual Fennec, then you would have a major problem. But it looks like we are good to go for our second to last game of the night.
Yep. Definitely expect to see a couple opening snipers here on the side of Tribe. Doesn't look like we're going to see any on the side of Violence. So, and in Respawn, we typically, if we do see snipers, it's usually a first push thing. It actually does look like Tribe are going to put them down. Which is a little bit unfortunate. I actually think there's a lot of vantage points here in the first hard point on standoff, but don't see any shotguns either out of these 2 teams, which you'd mentioned early on, Bobby, that I don't really have anybody known really well for their shotguns. And this has been, so far, a pretty big kill fest here in the middle of the map, but it is Tribe right now taking a advantage. 15 points on the board before things finally start to switch a little bit up for Violence. I would definitely expect pretty soon here to see Tribe, if they want to keep the aggression up, to tilt a player or two back towards the next hard point and try to anchor those spawns a little bit. Just for their favor here, as we're approaching the last 15 seconds of the initial hard point, which these last 15 seconds are super not important for Tribe, or Violence for that matter, if they can make that rotation over early.
Yeah, Little B actually getting concussed right there, but he's pulled out the Akimbo Fenix. They don't seem to be too much of an issue so far. We do have Bolu picking up a frag there as he's going to regen on the inside of gas station, and right now just waiting for the push to come in. We'll lay down shots, but unless you're point blank, not going to do a whole lot of damage. He is able to pick up the frag. Now 5 kills on the board for him as he looks to hold down the top side, and you can see pretty much everybody over on Violence. Good lord, I could not think of their name to save my life. Pushing on that one alley altogether, but it will be Tribe continuing to hold this one down. Marshy with 6 kills, same for Bolu. Little B with 5, and they are set up pretty well to protect for the rest of the duration. Bolu trying to control gas station, and we'll be able to continue. The contest comes in for a second, but Little B able to shut things down. Decoy getting a couple frags, but Bolu picking up number 7, and Undy peeking back alley. Bolu now pushing the issue and trying to take out Will, and somehow ends up winning that gunfight. Not the prime range at all for the Akimbo Fenix, but pretty solid lead for Tribe as we head into P3.
Yeah, and Tribe did a really good job early on anchoring them over. Violence, however, really struggled with the communication and trying to get their regroups through, and blatantly, honestly, just fed kill after kill over to the side of Tribe, one at a time. Ended up losing basically the entire second hard point, and honestly just fed kill streaks over to the side of Tribe. This is going to be a rough following couple hard points for Violence. We've got a lot of operators on board for the side of Tribe. We actually see Leon pulling out the Tempest, not one that we see too often, but definitely one, if you know how to use it, can come through with some really strong performances. And if anybody's going to be able to do it, Leon's certainly a player strong enough to do so, as he gets the long-range shot there onto Velo.
We got Little B heading to back alley right here. Ideally would like some smokes, but it looks like he's already used it, so going to have to use those angles to his advantage. Trying to get the push into the hard point. You can see 2 players right here, but Undy calling in the pred. Going to hold them off for the time being. With that being said, only about 33 more seconds needed for Tribe to be able to close this one out. We do have some operators on the way in as Undy looks to get the flank on the Tribe players trying to push in right now. He will spot Bolu from behind, picks up the frag. Vela's going to take out Little B as well, so the push stays at bay, and Undy continuing to rotate around through gas station. He's going to spot Nero right there. That'll be supposedly an easy frag. He does pick it up, but just barely. Looks like we will have Violence picking up the majority of the time, and those Akimbo Fenix just filling up the feed as Bolu and Little B currently top fragging for their team with those Akimbo Fenix, and looking like it is potentially going to be a meta-changing option.
Yeah, it could potentially be. Right now, we do have Violence scraping up some good points for themselves. They're now within just about 20 points once again of Tribe Gaming. Undy having a incredibly strong performance as actually does get gunned down in Leon's triple kill there. 14 kills for Undy, nearly tying the top frag for the side of Tribe. The problem over in the kills department is Leon 16, Lil B 15, Bolu 14, Marshy 10, and Undy at 14. Velo and Decoy just now hitting double digits. Mid and Will definitely still struggling quite a bit. So despite some good rotations out of Violence, the gunfights are certainly going in favor of Tribe at this point.
Yeah, and Tribe set up pretty well. They won't be able to win it on this hill, and especially with the cluster strike on the way in, they're going to be forced to evacuate. Leon just trying to hold down this back alley, one of the only players with any type of a ranged option, as he is still rocking that DRH. So with 20 kills on the board, he's got a Goliath ready to go. We see Marshy with the GKS in his hands, looking to help his team hold this one down. If they're able to do it for just 13 more seconds, they'll be able to walk away with the win. Undy is able to get the frag, and a good contest for right now for Violence, but just not enough firepower. We see Bolu coming in with the frag once again. He and Little B combining for 35 kills with those Akimbo Fenix, and they will get the win, 150 to 107.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing against Violence, but I'm definitely excited to see Tribe coming through with strong performances here to open up the season once again. Definitely don't want to see them have a repeat of Season 2. So hopefully they've been able to work some of their kinks out. I know they were struggling with getting a consistent roster together, so we'll have to see what they're able to do with that moving forward. But that's only the first matchup of a best of 3. There's still a lot of room on the board for Violence to come through and maybe win Search and Destroy, potentially push us into a Game 3. I'll tell you what, man, some of these skins on the Fennec are just so good.
Yeah, it's the first mythic skin in the game, so they balled out on it.
So good,
Yep.
man.
Pretty sick. I need to check something.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be one of the few maps that if we see Fenix, it'll be on this map.
Yeah.
Just with the presence of such close range fights. This is probably the only map, unless if they put in Nuketown, something, or Rust, get some Rust action with some Fenix running around now. But yeah, this is one of the few, if not the only map that we'll see the Fennec on, and it is actually a really strong setup. I know a lot of chat has actually called it a troll setup, but I absolutely do not think it is. I do think that is going to be a strong meta weapon for these close range maps. We may see it on some other maps for Search and Destroy, but for Respawn, probably just standoff. Maybe once in a while some Crossfire, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I would imagine potentially Summit could be one of those other maps where we might see it come into play, but outside of Summit and Standoff, I really don't see it being a viable option. We saw right there, it was really only at like the 0 to 8 meter range that the Fennec was really gonna have any type of an advantage in a gunfight, and there's just not a lot of maps where you're gonna be able to do that. So.
Yeah, no, the idea with the Fennec and in all honesty, a lot of the submachine guns and machine pistols that have that high rate of fire has always been, that's just, if you're playing the 100 or 0 to 100 run and gun, turn the corner and win the gunfight in close range, that's going to be the gun to do it. I mean, it's right up there with the shotguns. The benefit you do have is if you miss that first shot with the shotgun, it is very likely that you then die. The Fennec is a little bit more forgiving in that sense, but you also do dump ammo very, very quickly. So unless of your space and you come through with a triple kill, that is actually a gun that will be very difficult to follow up multi-kills with. I think that was just kind of the perfect storm for space earlier. I mean, again, Fennec does have large magazines, a very low bullet damage, but very, very high rate of fire. And that is both its benefit and its kind of curse, double-edged sword there. So got to be careful with it, but I definitely do expect it to be a meta rotation of weapons for, in all honesty, probably just, again, the very run and gun heavy players. Ones that come to mind that we didn't see make that rotation into that kind of playstyle today, which, again, I've harped on them quite a bit, that their run and gun is very good and their play it back is not, is Exiled. I think Neji and Darky could definitely excel using the Fennec, or even just in general, more submachine gun play overall. So Maybe they'll work on it, maybe they won't. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not. Guess we'll see.
Yeah, looks like we're good to go. Meltdown, search and destroy for game number 2. We'll start to see some of those snipers come into play. Specifically, Little B, obviously the sniper for Tribe, and trying to think. I feel like we've seen Decoy pull out this. No, I'm thinking of the Kilo from Velo. He's actually pulled it out already with that iron sight. So
Yep.
everybody
and
making the push over toward B.
Nasty work with it.
Yeah, this is a very aggressive push and also a very aggressive defense. And we're actually seeing the GKS shredding right now. Forbid gets a 2-piece. Decoy gets the 1. Now only 2 players remaining. Little B going to be the only player alive for Tribe. Trying to land the snipe. He's going to be able to do so onto Decoy, but now forced to reposition. Hot pursuit behind coming from, I believe that is Undy giving chase right now, and he's actually going to rotate all the way back over toward A. He is looking for an opening right here. Almost hits the first shot. Not able to make it happen. Velo's going to repeak at the perfect time. And tries to challenge. Not able to make it happen. I'm not really sure what Little B is trying to spot right there. Not going to see anybody at that angle. And I think really just waiting for somebody to make the mistake of rounding the corner. So they do make that exact mistake. He punishes them. Undy drops. Now a 1v1. He's got a sniper and an SMG to work with. And
If Noah keeps watching this window, he might get the shot he's looking for.
Yeah, he's still alive with that iron sight Kilo. Unorthodox. Does pick up the bomb right here, and I don't think he's got time to do anything except for go for the plant over on B, so we're probably going to see that come in.
Enemy contact.
But he is going to get spotted by Little B.
No.
And yeah, just unfortunate timing. I don't think he heard the call out that there was enemy contact. Ends up dying. Little B 3 kills in the first round, and Tribe goes up 1-0.
Yeah, just turned his screen away at the corner. You've seen the player rotating in there and ended up picking up the kill. Unfortunate timing for Velo, who is typically the top fragger with big Kilo iron sight, so definitely be keeping an eye on that. Forbid having a big game as he finds his 3rd kill of the game. 2 for 2 trades so far, and it's Leon. And that wow, Forbid, man, playing crazy over here.
And we do have Velo closing things out. He's put away the iron sight Kilo and actually pulled out the Locust, so a little bit more reasonable selection, I would say, as we are evened up at 1-1. We had a little bit of a visual glitch for Little B's sniper right there, but I believe it has been fixed. And once again, everybody on both teams content to aggressively push over toward this B side and just see who comes out on top. No first blood for either team. Bolu losing health quickly. He does have players up top. Leon able to get the frag. He picks up 1 onto Decoy, and now 2 players up for Tribe Gaming. The bomb is down for Violence, and Undy is able to get the refrag onto Leon, but once again, with the bomb down, that makes things a lot easier for Tribe. They know what exact positions they have to play. They know where Violence is going to be coming from, and it just allows them to take control of the situation into their own hands. But just like that, Velo lands the snipe, not able to hit the follow-up as he tries to land one. Actually, hit markers Marshy. He's not going to be able to hit the follow-up. Little B will drop him with the GKS, and as Forbid gets a 2-piece, it's now going to be a 2v1. Little B not going to be able to make it happen, and Violence now going up 2-1.
Forbid is playing out of their mind today. 8 kills on the board in the 3rd round. This is a strong performance here coming out of Violence. Lil B trying his best for the side of Tribe. Leon trailing not too far behind, 5 and 3 respectively. And it does look like we have a strong A-side push now coming out of the side of Violence. I did mention a little bit at the end of the last matchup that search and destroy modes, there may be a little bit of flexibility to the Fennec. A-side pushes on Meltdown might not be a bad idea. I mean, this is one that I talk about quite a bit being favorable to shotguns. Saint kind of situation here. Definitely a lot of opportunity to see this come through. Forbid looking for kill number 9, but it is going to be Nero winning that gunfight. Now, Will is alone and likely not going to be able to stop this defuse at the point with the health that he has.
Yep, the easy defuse going to come in for Tribe with only 1 HP. Will kind of force a regen and had to reload as well. Just nothing he could have possibly done right there. So evening things up to 2. Little B and Nero, honestly, Little B, Nero, and Leon all pretty good through the first few rounds for Tribe, and we've seen them actually stronger on the offensive side than they are on the defensive side, for the most part relying on retakes whenever they're on defense. So the fact that they've been able to keep things even so far is definitely a plus for them and for Tribe fans watching right now. We do see one man down already as Decoy drops. Little B trying to land a shot over the head glitch. He's going to be able to do it, and on to Forbid, the biggest weapon so far for Violence. Not going to be able to get the slide peek onto Will, so he's held at bay for right now, but Velo misses the first shot. He's now going to get pinched. Will, the only person alive. He hasn't picked up a frag yet. Marshy's going to be able to get the kill right there, and Tribe takes the lead at 3-2.
Yeah, and Tribe would certainly like to close things out in a strong fashion here. Obviously, this is a big one for them. I mean, again, this is a team that struggled incredibly hard in Season 2. Had a much better performance in Season 3, but definitely struggled. So you would like to see them come through with kind of their old Grace energy that they once upon a time brought to the table, and have those strong performances once again. At least consistent performances. Definitely it makes things quite a bit more exciting. Another really fast plant, and Forbid finds kill number 9 finally after not being able to find it in the last game. And has evened things out. So now 4v4 as Leon finds a kill onto Decoy. Leon finds a second kill onto Will as well.
And Leon just playing so well right now. Could not have placed that nade any better. Slides the corner, somehow gets that frag as well. That was a 3 or 4 piece for him, and just playing that little 10 square foot area paid off, as he's now up to 9 frags, only 1 behind Forbid right now, and Tribe with the 4-2 lead, looking like we may have another 2-0 closeout. This one a little bit closer, and with the way that Violence has been playing, they've absolutely got a shot at coming back right here, but they're going to need to get some strong early picks and try to slow down the aggressive push of Tribe. That's kind of been their go-to strategy, is to just violently push toward wherever it is that they're trying to get to, see if they can get the early plant and put the pressure on the opposing team. They're able to do so right now with the bomb down on B, and they have set up at all of the proper angles to be able to defend. Bolu gets the first blood onto Velo, only 25 seconds to work with. Leon, maybe not the best of angles right here. He doesn't realize somebody's defusing right now, and it was very nearly a ninja defuse. But now Decoy going to be all by himself. He does get the frag onto Leon. But with Bolu chasing from behind, not a whole lot he's going to be able to do about it. And Tribe goes up 5-2.
Yeah, Tribe now just a single win away from being able to close things out 2-0. Obviously, that will pick them up a net of 20 points. Would be a great position for them to be in at the start of this season. Obviously, again, if you guys maybe missed some of last season, losses no longer lose you points. You close this net to 0, so Violence at least won't be in the negatives. So, again, if that is if Tribe is even able to close it out here. Violence very well could push this into a game 11, maybe even a third game in this match, so definitely be keeping an eye out for that. We do have a rush, a bomb plant, and a player advantage for Tribe, this time over at the B bomb, and I think this is very, very heavily in favor of Tribe at this point, with Forbid being the first pick they got. Not a whole lot to be spoken left on the side of Violence, and there they start falling down. Velo finds 1, but is now alone versus 4 members of Tribe. Leon with a triple kill. Leon, huge game here for Tribe.
Yeah, that was a really solid closeout for them. We knew they were going to be Typically stronger on the A side, just really good, strong, aggressive pushes. There was nothing Violence could do about it, and they end up coming out on top. As we can see, Leon having a big game, 13 kills for him. We saw him making those big plays, and actually it looks like he's got more of an AR build on his RUS-79U. I believe that's a 50 meg that he's got on there, but making it work as they come out on top. And with that, we are good to hop into our final matchup of the night, which is going to be Infinix versus Strike Zone. So this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. Obviously, we've got the reigning champions in Infinix, so anytime we get to watch them, it is an absolute blast. Going to go ahead and try to get these teams loaded in, and we should be good to go pretty soon.
This is actually kind of interesting. So we do have Resume picked up for Strike Zone, which is one of the players I was talking about on Tuesday, being a player that could definitely get picked up, whether they won or lost. But looking at the Infinix roster, we do have a new player here for Infinix, Bobby, and that is Dante. And to me, this is I don't know if it's just the way that the admins have it set up, but if player 1 through 5 is intended to be the starting roster, that is wild that Tempo would be listed as a sub and Dante, the new player, being listed in. That is interesting, and I can't wait to see what that's like.
Yeah, hopefully a big pickup for Infinix.
Tempo was a big pickup for Infinix.
What?
I said Tempo was a big pickup
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Infinix.
Yeah,
He killed it last season.
Little B, I don't know how the heck you've been playing in 4 seasons of Mobile Mayhem and 2 seasons of Omen Challenger Series, and you still don't know not to come into chat and spoil. You getting a week-long ban for that one. I'm sorry. You should know that by now.
Oof.
Of all people, you have been in every single season of competitive COD Mobile that I've casted, and you still came in and spoiled. Oh my goodness. My dude.
Definitely rough. But they gotta learn one way, right, Bobby?
Yep. SMH my head. Yeah, I'm interested to see how Resume bounces back. I mean, he made some big plays on Tuesday, but
some big plays for better and for worse.
Yeah, they're very notable plays, to say the least.
I did see someone in the admin chat here telling us that something is why he's a sub, but I missed it. And then you guys deleted it, so I have no idea what you're talking about. It might have been Splinter, it might have not been. Splinter was being toxic. Okay, nothing new there.
Alright, map 1 is going to be Hardpoint on Summit. That'll be a fun one. Oh, map 2 is Search and Destroy on Crossfire, even better.
Should be expecting a Titio raid soon.
That seems like
usually the trend.
Titio's trying to get the new Fennec. He's coming in a second.
Wants it. He's seen its power. He can taste it. He needs it.
Oh, we got Poppy in here. Let's go. The Bat King of COD Mobile.
Who is?
Poppy.
Poppy?
For Strike Zone.
Gotcha. I mean, aside from resume, I don't know anybody on. Well, I mean, I guess I did catch them a little bit in the COD champs, but not. I wasn't able to stay for their whole series, so I don't know too much about them except for resume. So maybe Bobby, I don't know if you can fill me in on if they have like a designated team sniper, if they have any shotgun users I should be looking for, if they have a
I'm trying
potential
to...
MVP of the season or rookie of the season coming through.
So Poppy used the Echo a good bit, which was also notable. He really used whatever the frick he wanted to. I don't think there was anything that he didn't use. So, I felt like Saint was typically one of the top fraggers for the team. For the most part, they weren't typically the on-stream games since they did go to the losers bracket from the start. But, I'm trying to think of who their last player could be. People in chat are saying hi. He was one of the good players for them as well.
Splinter is going to make breakfast.
Going to make breakfast. What the heck?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. I am confusion.
Splinter going to make breakfast, and I'm over here trying to figure out when I can go to bed.
For real though.
It's been a long day.
Doesn't help that freaking Nevada doesn't know how to count votes. They're over
meme
here.
Of the day.
What's
My
that?
favorite meme of the day was American Idol can count 130 million votes in a commercial break.
Yup. Nevada's doing them. They got one little old man sitting in a corner and they hand him one at a time and he writes it down. I don't know how it's possible to take as long as they are. Like, at least in the other places, there's, like, significant progress, but I think Nevada had the same vote count from, like...
75% for, like, 2.5 days.
I think they've counted, like, a total of 2,000 votes in the past 48 hours. Good night. Freaking Nevada.
At least we got all of our players in here now. We do not have any Dante for Infinix, so we won't get to see if there's anything to be excited about for that. But we do have Tempo, and Tempo, again, such a strong pickup for Infinix last season. This is a team that has historically struggled
the
in
236
play.
raid! Can we get some raid hype in chat? Whoop.
Even in the finals,
I appreciate it.
Through
welcome
last
everybody.
season,
Thank you.
Wasn't as strong as an Infinix team.
Everybody
that
follow
we saw
Tatio if you haven't
season,
already.
but
Somebody
was able to
at
pull
him.
through together. The later the finals went, the further into the game count we got, they just grew stronger and stronger, which is really one of the strong suits of this Infinix roster. Tempo was just such a strong pickup for them. I mean, Tatio was top fragger of the season, standalone the season before. And then picking up Tempo, he's been able to compete up there at the top with the roster. And obviously, we can't sleep on our man Cheto over here. So this is, for Strike Zone, potentially a really not fun first day matchup to have to go into. I mean, they could come through and surprise us here, but day one Infinix, I don't think any team would have been excited for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nova Imperium would have been excited for that. I don't know if Tribe would have been excited for that, let alone some new guys to Mobile Mayhem who again have made it pretty big impact in COD Champs. So just because they're new to Mobile Mayhem doesn't mean that they aren't here to push Infinix to their limit. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we are just waiting on Shadow, and then we should be good to go. I'm just over here hoping that Poppy brings out the bat a couple times, because the man can make some plays with a melee weapon. Definitely.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Some excitement.
Hopefully, resume sticks to the diffuses, you know?
Dude, I'll tell you, that's my favorite weapon in Call of Duty history. That is the biggest troll weapon. Because it's like really not even a troll weapon. It's just not meta ever. It never has been. So
I remember
that's my favorite gun to use in Modern Warfare.
In Rules of Survival, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about that.
I see a bat.
Yep, there he is. Rules of Survival is a battle royale game that most of the big COD Mobile YouTubers came from, but they had a crossbow, but it also had an attachment, so you can put different things like onto the crossbow, and one of the things was an explosive. So basically, you could just
that's been historically for COD crossbows as well. They
really
have explosive dart. Yep. So in we'll talk about it later. We're getting into the game now.
Yeah. First blood comes in, Ban drops Cheto, and trades coming in all over the place. Poppy right now just looking to see if he can get a bat kill, but usually with the shotgun says not today. And this might not be the team that you want to try to go for the bat kills against. Might want to put it away for the time being and see if you can maybe get some gun kills, because Infinix is about to show absolutely zero mercy to Tio. 2 kills in the feed, 4 kills on the board.
Poppy
Tempo
has been spawn killed twice in a row. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. And
big opening for Infinix here.
Not a fun start for Strike Zone right now. They can very well turn things around, but they gotta get on the board. Ban picks up his 3rd kill. Actually beams to Tio off the top right there, so looking pretty good. They get maybe a second or 2 of scrap time, but also sets them up well to rotate toward next. Ban trying to hold the inside, but not going to be able to land the shots is Tempo, rookie of the split and top fragger of the game, playing pretty well right now. We got Cheto pulling out the Akimbo Phoenix to try to push. We said the one other map where we might see those come into play is on Summit, and especially in a match of Hardpoint where you got a lot of people trying to push into one area. Working very well for him right now, and another player rounding the corner, not going to have a whole lot of luck. Saint drops quickly. Couple players trying to push in. Cheto plays it patient. Definitely the right move right here. He's going to sit back, wait for them to come to him, and once they round the corner, just beam them! Major assist. Not quite the kill, but it's a major assist.
Yeah, definitely. This is looking to be a really rough game for Strike Zone. Infinix have a massive lead on the first 2 hardpoints, and the first 2 hardpoints are typically the most evenly contested. This is the most punishing hardpoint map that you will see in this entire tournament. The respawns into these next couple hardpoints are so incredibly far away. It takes a lot of time even just to get a regroup together. At that point, if you lost the first fight, you're almost better off setting up for next and trying to get next, because they are hard points to break into. They are massive anchor dependent respawns. So keep an eye out for those anchors as Tio is just gunning them down. Cheto as well with the Fennec, able to pick up some big kills. And we actually did get some good points here early for Strike Zone, but Infinix, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Set a couple players to the back, anchored that hard point, traded a couple kills, got the entire team to respawn on hardpoint. So big rotation from Infinix there. They have 1 player sticking behind, finding the trickle, and Tio now one of the players rotating over, perhaps with UG looking to find another anchor onto this next hard point.
Yeah, that was really well played by Tatio. Guaranteed that time on P3 for them and sets them up well to make the rotation now over to P4.
See, look at those hard point respawns if you were on Tatio there. That is such a devastatingly far respawn.
Yup, definitely going to be tough ground to make up if you are Strike Zone. Keeping it closer than I expected, to be honest. They've been able to hold pretty well on these hard points, not really giving up a whole lot of ground.
They anchored that spawn hard, and that's exactly what I was calling for UG there. Even though Tatio is dropped on that first pick, I mean, you just saw all of Infinix respawn basically on hard point. Poppy is able to gun down to Tio there. This is a big opportunity for Strike Zone.
Yeah, Resume got a really good push in with the Annihilator and with spawn control right now, and usually being the only player on the hill. Should be a pretty easy break, at least for right now. Not a whole lot of time to work with, and just like that, Shadow pulling out the Akimbo Phoenix and just running through everybody that was on the hard point for Strike Zone, and just like that, the momentum back in the favor of Infinix. Tempo filling up the feed. I think it's a 3-piece right there, and he's now up to 16 kills. They got a lot of high-powered weapons on the inside of this control center, and not trying to let anybody anywhere close. The temp is shocking everybody. Easy frags for Cheto. He's now got 17 on the board, and looking like we may have a quick closeout coming in for Infinix. Even as he's shocked, we got Cheto still getting frags, and oh my gosh, what a value right there. That was one of the biggest value operators that I've ever seen.
At least for a Tempest, that's a big operator. Tempest coming through strong there. And this is a clean Infinix win here. Every member of Infinix in double digits, usually struggling a little bit behind there, but you have to give UG credit for what he did that game. He may have the lowest kills on the team, but my man did great work anchoring spawns for the side of Infinix. Talked about the spawn control and flipping the spawns quite frequently, and that was quite often UG pulling that through for the team, and had a massive impact on Infinix being able to win this with such a big lead. I mean, near 100-point lead here in against Strike Zone.
Yeah, we saw Cheto at the end making some really big plays, and not only that, 1 minute and 28 seconds on the hill to lead the team as well. But that feed with the Tempest was something else. I don't know how many shots are in the Tempest, but based on that, it's a lot more than the Annihilator, and he made the most out of it. The Akimbo Phoenix coming into play once again, and not too surprising to see. I would be shocked if we saw them come into play on Search and Destroy Crossfire, but with some proper smoke play and the right angles, it very well could happen, so we'll have to wait and see. Search and Destroy and Crossfire, not a mode map combo that we've seen a whole lot, but will definitely be interesting to watch. Lots of long angles, lots of sniper opportunities. Should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you talk about sniper opportunities, Infinix is the first team that infinitely comes to mind with Cheto on the team. Time and time again comes through as the marksman of the split, and even when he hasn't in the past, I mean, he was right up there, even in his first season into Mobile Mayhem. Came through, I think, with a big 6 kills with the Tempest in the game. I mean, we always see Cheto do well, but this might be one of the first times we've seen him top frag for Infinix in a respawn mode.
Yeah.
So really making work out of those duo Phoenix. And again, as you mentioned, this is going to be the other map side standoff if we see it for respawn. Definitely some viability for Search and Destroy for some players as well, but I definitely would expect to see Cheto stick to the sniper for Search and Destroy.
And
AFK right now, taking a nap.
We do have Poppy finally putting away the baseball bat. He pulls out the RUS, gets the first frag on the board for Strike Zone, so the 4v3 a little more manageable, like you said. Maybe waiting for Yuji to come out of spawn. He is going to do so, and We will now see, interestingly enough, a push.
Oh, Tatio!
Oh, and Envy actually able to get the frag onto Envoy. Now Poppy, the only player remaining. He's going to get sniped by Yuji from the side. And just like that, Infinix starting out with the lead once again, 1-0.
Tatio found a clean wallbang that very potentially could have just saved Envoy's life, or not Envoy, Yuji's life there. So a big play for them. One on the board for the side. Poppy, you may love using the bat, but I think you're learning very quickly here, bud, that this is not the team to use it against.
We actually have a player, I believe, in bottom of that B building. Yeah, Envoy's right down there, and just bad timing for Poppy. Didn't realize he was there. Yeah, like you said, beamed. He didn't have a second to react. By the time he thought to put his grenade away, he was already dead, and Yuji's actually going to drop back in spawn. Tatio, the only player alive. What a shot onto Envy. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Saint will drop him right there to even things up at 1-1.
That was so clean from Tatio, someone who we don't normally see sniping. Got the hit marker, pulled out the pistol, cleaned up the kill on the hit marker kill, switched back, lands the quick scope, and then gets dropped. So big plays, surprising plays out of Tatio there. Cheto finally has the sniper out, which we expected to see him use in Search and Destroy. Tempo, however, trading things out first blood. And is Saint actually picking up the 2-for-1 trade in favor of Strike Zone?
And I'm not really sure how Tatio is even able to hit marker right there. That looked like the only angle he could see was the upper body. He's just getting hit markers galore. Doesn't even matter. Drops banned right there. Now a 1v3. Make it a 1v2. Can't make it a 1v1, though. Poppy is ready for him. And it's actually Strike Zone going up 2-1 off the lead. Seems like the aggressive pushes over toward the A site not really working out right now for Infinix. Definitely expecting to see a little bit more of a passive approach right here. And
yeah,
I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
What?
I'll tell you what, Tatio is impressing me with the sniper tonight. He's not typically one we see being a large sniper user, and he's landing his shots. I mean, he hasn't clutched the round with the sniper or anything, but I mean, just the accuracy is there, so keep an eye out for that. But Band is making the rotation over, finds the back kill onto Tatio, finds Cheto, finds Yuji for the triple kill.
I wish I had been the 3-piece to close it out that quickly. What? Well,
yeah, I wish I would have had the emulator working so I could have had that on recording.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe what
that's
just
a rough one
happened.
to miss.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, 3-1 lead for Strike Zone, who we didn't really think was going to have much of a shot, but the bat plays have proven to be superior. However, the snipes for Infinix starting to come in right now. We might see some wallbang attempts for Band right here. He's actually got the angle, but not the shot, and just like that, Saint gonna be the only player alive for Strike Zone. Trying to play around, see if he can find some frags, but Envoy shuts it down quickly, and Infinix finally able to take a round for themselves after, I believe, 3 in a row going over to Strike Zone. Tatio still got the sniper in hand, and we will be flipping sides, so we'll see if Infinix does feel any more confident over on the defensive side. Tatio trying to land the shots through smoke, won't be able to make it happen yet. No first blood coming in. Saint has the bomb, and not going to be able to push in for the plant quite yet, but teammates clearing out the surrounding area. Spots Tempo right there, going to be able to get the plant onto the B site.
Yeah, absolutely. With bomb planted, that does now force the side of Infinix to play against the clock. Cheto is now alone. We've seen him clutch with the sniper before, but this is looking to be a rough position to be in, especially with a map that is a little bit unfamiliar as far as the mobile mayhem scene goes. This is a first season for Crossfire, so definitely going to take some time for the players to get adjusted to this. And it is Resume eventually finding the kill onto Jetto and winning round, or the second point for Strike Zone, or fourth point for Strike Zone. And Infinix actually struggling behind with 2, which
Objectives. The enemy has the
typically
bomb.
speaking, we would not have expected. I mean, Infinix we typically revere as doing it better in search and destroy.
Yep. We do have a couple first bloods coming in. Tatio gets a 2-piece. However, a couple frags coming for Strike Zone as well. Cheto finally able to make some shots happen. He drops Resume. It immediately left all by himself versus the 2 remaining Strike Zone players trying to make the 1v3 possible. I believe we'll probably have the bomb. We got the bomb down actually wide open in the middle of the road, so less than ideal positioning for Strike Zone, who's going to need to go pick that up pretty soon. They will pick it up. Cheto spots one player. I believe he spotted both. Doesn't make the shot happen. Saint's going to get an easy frag as a result. And shots that we typically see Cheto hitting just not falling right now. Only
Been
4 kills.
practicing that Fennec, and it's throwing him off, man.
Yeah. Only 4 kills for him through the first few rounds. And now Infinix in danger of actually losing a map right here.
Yeah, they potentially could in a matchup that we would not expect them to lose. Shadow does find the first blood onto Resume there, and man, Envoy cleaning it up big for the side of Infinix there. Band is able to get a back kill onto Envoy to return, but it's a little too late, and Infinix are able to put their third one on the board. It's still quite a stretch for Infinix to come through and close it out 2-0 here. But absolutely still possible if they're able to win 3 in a row. Strike Zone, fortunately for them, just need to close out a single round victory to push to 3. And Band, what a way to open, finding the kill onto Envoy, who carried hard for the side of Infinix last round.
Yep, couple frags in for Strike Zone already. They're now at a 2-man advantage once again. And just seeming like the better search and destroy team. We do have Tatio getting the frag onto Envy. Band is going to pull out the bat right here. See if he can manage to find himself another one. The plant actually going in over on A, which is not what we typically see. But Band gets another bat kill this time onto Tatio. He's got a sniper in hand. Spots one player. Can't make the shot happen quite yet. It's a 1v3 for Cheto. He's got to win this in order to keep the game alive and to allow Infinix to have a shot at winning, but Resume shuts it down quickly, and Strike Zone actually sneaks away with one, and it will be a 6-3 win as we get ready to hop into our final game of the night on Domination.
Yeah, this is a big win for Strike Zone here. I mean, again, they are a COD Mobile Champs team, but newcomers to Mobile Mayhem, so this is big for them to come through and on day 1 take a search and destroy game off of Infinix, who again we would typically rank the higher end being search and destroy for them over respawn. So big performance from Strike Zone. I do kinda have to put a grain of salt there. Infinix, specifically Cheto, was missing quite a few snipes that we normally would not see him miss in the past. So I'm not sure what was going on there with Cheto. I don't know if there's any lag or if he just been practicing other weapons, and but I definitely would like to see him practice and get back in the groove of things with the sniper, because that was not a flashy round for him, which again in search and destroy is normally his territory.
Yeah, I was surprised by a lot of the shots that he was missing, and Resume.
Yeah, I mean, there were again a lot of blatant shots that he just shouldn't have missed.
Yeah, Resume actually gets redemption after a little bit of a mishap in the qualifiers on Tuesday. Actually ends up top fragging for his team against the reigning champions of Mobile Mayhem. So, still a moment that we will definitely remember, but it's nice to get a little bit of redemption. So, we'll see if that continues to carry through as we get ready to hop into Domination on Standoff. We did see Infinix seem to be a lot stronger in respawn, as they were pretty dominant in our Hardpoint Summit map, but that is one that tends to be a snowballing type map where once you start to get the momentum, it builds and builds and builds with the reset at the half. Very different story when it comes to Domination, so we'll see if they can maybe somehow manage to sneak away with a win in their first ever Mobile Mayhem match.
Yeah, that would be a great first game for the side of Strike Zone to come in. And, I mean, again, they had a strong performance there in Search and Destroy. I mean, I don't know too much about them. You know a little bit more than I am, Bobby. I don't know if they're a strong Search and Destroy team overall. But it is Band finding first blood onto Tatio there. Obviously moving into domination. This is another respawn mode. We'll have to see if anybody's able to get a early B flag cap. And it actually does, like, Infinix in the first 30 seconds have a B cap. And that could potentially spell disaster if Strike Zone leave that uncontested. Looking at the board, we have persistence across the board for Strike Zone with the exception of Envy. And then over on the side of Infinix, actually just Yuji and Tatio running persistence. Cheto has high score streaks on, but then is running no persistence in the Akimbo Fennec, so I don't think we're going to see any real use of that out of Cheto.
Yeah, we've got a triple cap. We got a triple cap already for Infinix, so it seems like they were not happy about the result of that search and destroy, and they have come storming back since. Tempo gonna quickly knock off Band, or knock off Poppy, and now people over on A, looks like they won't be able to get the cap there either. Saint has not picked up a kill. 3 players with 1 kill or less for Strike Zone. And Infinix is running through them right now. We do finally have the A cap coming in, but with Tempo on the flank, won't be able to hold that for very long. He's waiting for his teammates to come help finish the cap. He's able to do it. He's got a Pred missile. He knows he's going to be able to stack that up. Another easy kill. No C cap coming in for Strike Zone, and looking like this could be one of the biggest blowouts that we've ever seen in a game of domination.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge. This has been, I mean, 30 seconds into the game, we were looking at triple caps. We're now almost 3 minutes into the game. This is essentially a whole round of triple cap for the side of Infinix, shy of just the initial cap out of Strike Zone, and then, like, the 30 seconds they hold it as Infinix marched their way to B flag and then into the spawn of Strike Zone and took it in a 75-11 lead for Infinix. Shy of a miracle. I don't know if Strike Zone can make this.
I mean, that's something that we've never seen a half that lopsided in Mobile, especially a first half. It's one thing for the score streaks to start to pile up in the second half and people start to call in VTOLs and Goliaths and things get lopsided, but for a first half to be that lopsided is just absolutely unprecedented, and Infinix just does not care. All aggression right here. Tatio trying to take somebody off the head glitch, and he's still got lots of chopper bullets to work with as they already get the double cap, and more than likely going to be making their way over towards C to try to get the triple cap once again.
Yeah, and I just caught it on the replay on stream. 48 seconds into the game, the triple cap started for Infinix. That is giant. That's giant.
I mean, to even have a double cap that early is a pretty solid start. So the fact that they just went ahead, ran out, got the double cap immediately, and already got that triple cap to have that map control. And you can see the entire kill feed is Infinix right now. Just nothing going the way. The triple cap coming in once again. Took a little bit longer than last time, but they are winning every single gunfight right now. Everybody in double digits. Not a single double-digit player over on Strike Zone. And Infinix probably just seconds away from closing this one out.
It's looking that way, and I don't think we've ever seen such a lopsided domination game. I mean, not even crossing 30 points for Strike Zone is a rough situation to be in. I don't know if this is a sign that Infinix were maybe clowning a little bit, Search and Destroy, and paid the price for it, and now really want to put the hurt on, because this is absolutely.
I mean, and you can tell just by the fact that they're this set on triple capping, like, they're mad that they lost the Search and Destroy. They're not happy. And this is just like rage gaming that we're watching right now. We got 2 players inside Goliath. They don't care how big the gap gets. They want everybody to know that they are still on top, and there's not many things that say that, like a 150-29 game in a game of domination.
That would be I mean, the scoreline would be one thing if that was a hardpoint matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 29 seconds of having 1 flag captured, or like just about 30 seconds of having 1 flag captured. That's unheard of. I don't know how Infinix lost that that search and destroy matchup. Again, I mean, even if Infinix were clowning around, I mean, maybe Strike Zone just a strong search and destroy team. Definitely gonna need to see them either work on it in domination, and if it's not that Strike Zone played bad in the respawn modes, then people should fear Infinix with their lives.
Yeah.
in Season 4 of Mobile Mayhem, because that was absolute just. I mean, the game mode's domination, but that was domination at its finest.
Yeah, definitely an entertaining way to close out the night in our first full night of Mobile Mayhem Season 4. Like you guys have probably already heard us say, $2,500 on the line for this season, so more on the line. It's going to be a longer season as well. We got more teams in here. It's awesome to see the way the competitive scene is growing, and looking forward to watching the rest of these teams play some more. Once again, as always, appreciate Day coming in, helping me cast, and everything else. We will be back at it on Tuesday, I believe, every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure
that
you
is
guys...
one thing, chat, to make sure you notice, is we are starting a half hour later this season.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind.
Starting at 7 instead of 6:30, so something to keep in mind. But same day, same place. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow if you guys haven't already. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to show some love to whoever we end up rating. That's going to be it for the stream, and I will see you guys next time.